Hey everybody, it's Chad. Nobody else's auto. 7 o'clock Sunday evening time for some Sunday night live chat. So anyway, lots of cool stuff planned for tonight. Hopefully everything keeps working. Sometimes I don't trust these systems real well, but we've had a few issues here as of late. Hopefully everything keeps clicking along tonight. Matt's here. Pete's here with us. Planet Wisconsin. Kevin L. Glad you guys are all here and ready to go. Looks like we are connecting on Facebook. Is the timer's going? I guess that means something. As always, we are live on two formats, both Facebook and YouTube. Dad's here with us. So as you see me glancing back and forth, watching the different comments, that's what I am doing. Bill Wagaman's here. We had a little bit of snow here, but it's all pretty much gone already. So pretty short, sweet, and simple snow that we had didn't stick around too long. So we got a little bit yesterday. Didn't get much done outside, but that's normal when it gets that crappy. But today it was 40 degrees and sunny, so it's all gone. Michael Gagola's on here with us. Gary's on with us. I haven't talked to Gary in years. Glad Gary Whitus is on with us. I need to talk to you sometime. We need to catch up, Gary. Thanks for jumping on tonight. Rusty James is here. Joe's here. Alex is back. Randy Weiniger, Dennis, Gary Dahmer, Kenny's on. And Gary is ready to go tonight. There you go, guys. Let's go ahead and get this stuff rolling. Bill Disk, Nathan's Mopar Garage, Jim Petty. Alan's on. Glad you guys are all stopping by. We've got a lot of cool stuff to do tonight, a lot of fun things to talk about. But first off, before we get into any of it, as always, a little bit of housekeeping. If you were on the Nobody's Show Facebook page, I cannot see those comments. This is a shared video from the Nobody Else's Auto page. You'll need to be on the Nobody Else's Auto Facebook page or the Nobody Show YouTube channel for me to see your comments or participate in the auctions, etc., etc. Scott's here with us on Facebook. Ken Schultz is here. Jeff from Ottawa. Big Job's on tonight. So please bear that in mind if you're on the Nobody Show Facebook page. Please double check your autocorrect before you hit send on your comments. If your autocorrect changes to something I can't make out, I will have to skip your comment. I do try to catch most comments. I do miss a few here and there, but I try to catch them most. But please double check your autocorrect. Super chats are always awesome. Occasionally we do get trolls on here. I ignore them. They're trying to get my attention. You guys do a great job of making sure they know they're not welcome, reporting them and running them off. Auto Breve is here. 70s Mustangs. There again, depends on what we're talking about. You want a 70 Mustang? Are we talking 71 to 73? Are we talking 74 to 78 Mustang 2s or 79 Fox bodies? So I've got a few Mustangs in some of those. So, but thanks for stopping by tonight. Glad you're here. I'll give you an Auburn badge. Keep things boogieing. We got a lot of stuff going on. We've got another book I want to talk about tonight, and Rich from PA is on. We may even have the author stop by tonight. I told him that I was going to be talking about the book tonight, so we'll see if he jumps on when we get to the book part. 71 to 73, I've got one complete 71 coupe and a few bits and pieces off of a couple other ones I've had over the years. Is all I've got in 71 to 73 right now. But so we'll see if the author of this book gets on, and we'll talk about that. We got Meekum, Kansas City coming up. We got a lot of cool stuff to talk about. So that all being said, throw a share out there. Let your friends know that we are on and ready to go tonight, and we'll go ahead and get going into tonight's episode. We got a full night tonight. We're going to have a lot of fun. But first off, I hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving. It pretty much a normal day. I worked in the morning. We ran to my sister's for lunch, and I had a bunch of orders to pull, so I had to straight back out to the yard after lunch and pulled parts all day, especially knowing we had that snow coming in. But I hope everybody did have a good Thanksgiving. We did have, before Thanksgiving, we had a couple of nice days, and I got a little bit done before the weather went to complete crap around here. So I got the cab over cleaned up. Hopefully you guys saw the video on the 46 Ford cab over. Amazing truck. No 53 or 54 or 5 Studebaker coupes, Leland. I've got some cars, but no coupes in 3, 4, or 5. Numero uno, number 1 is here. Mike from Texas made it. So that's right. Big Job subs have definitely been going up. Huge shout out to you guys. A lot of that's coming from the Vice Grip Garage video. I did put the video up Monday night. If you guys didn't see it from when Derek was here, we just wandered around the yard, hung out for a few hours. He didn't have a lot of time since he got here late that day. X-Ray Dean made it. But like I said, had a great time with him. Derek's a super good dude. And, so if you missed that video, be sure to check it out. It's nothing fancy. It's just me and Derek hanging out, wandering around the yard, checking stuff out. Of course, to me, I've seen it all, but he thought it was pretty cool checking out different things as we wandered around. And so be sure to check that video out. But like I said, it's been great for my channel, and can't thank Derek enough for for putting me on his and being willing to participate in a video for my channel, because it's been great for me. So Sean Burchett's on with us on Facebook as well. But so that's up, and like I said, hopefully it turns into more. Like I said, he picked out a few things while he was here, and maybe he comes back, which would be even more fun. So, but the big thing, a couple other quick things real quick. Shirts. These shirts here, I've got probably 30 maybe left, maybe 40 of these left. And then this winter, I'm going to do a new shirt. Once these are gone, these are gone. I'm not going to reorder them. I will probably use this logo at some other point, but it won't be this shirt again. So if you want one of these, we're getting down to the end of these, and the new shirts are going to be a new design. They will still have the iconic nobody on the front, so we all know who we are. But I am getting down on these. I am not going to reorder this shirt. If you do not have one and want to get one, the information is in the text part of the video. So, well, glad you're here, Leland, on Facebook. Glad Vice Grip Garage sent you over here, and you're hanging out with us tonight. Leafra is here. Yes, I do. I did reorder larges and extra larges earlier this year. So I do have larges and extra larges, because that's what I sold out of right away. I ordered one more batch of those, and I've got a few 2X. 2X and 3X, I'm getting down to the last few. So if you guys want shirts, be sure to let me know, or add them to your auction purchases or whatever. Just make sure you note in there what you want. I have mostly what I have left is black. I have a few grays left and a few other sizes. So I think I've still got some 2 and 3X, Sean, but they are getting thin. So sounds great, Bill. But I just wanted to warn everybody, I do want to talk to my shirt guy here after we get through the next few weeks. Once things calm down in the middle of December, I'm going to talk to my shirt guy and try to get something else worked out. Robert from Australia. Glad you're here with us, Robert. Thanks for joining us tonight from down under. I've got 147 four-doors, the only 47 or 48 Olds I've got in stock right now. There's not a heck of a lot left of it. So, yeah, I mean, I can always order more shirts, but I'm going to do a different one than what I'm going to order a batch of. Do I have Chad Reynolds size? Chad's got one, so do not have any pocket tees. No, these are all I ordered were just the regular ones. Tweely D made it. So keep that in mind, guys. If you want one, be sure to let me know. Like I said, I've still got, I don't know if I've got any mediums, but large through XXX or XXX I've still got, but some of those sizes are getting pretty thin. Chevy Fan from Vegas is here. Glad you're with us tonight. But the big thing that's coming up, at least for me, and I know for at least a few of you, because a few of you have told me you're coming, and we're going to try to hook up while we're there. Mecum, Kansas City. Mecum, Kansas City, we do that every year. We've got a good group that goes. As of right now, there's going to be at least 6 or 8 of us from this area heading up, as well as some of you guys that plan on meeting us there. So it's always a great time. They have a full docket planned. They run Kansas City Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. We've been going to this auction for 10 years. If it's going to be a thin sale, they won't start selling cars till Thursday afternoon. Pete will be up here Friday, so we're looking forward to that. Great, Robert. Appreciate it. So they apparently plan on a full day. They've got a 9 o'clock start time Thursday morning, and they always start with memorabilia. JJ from North Carolina is here with us. I don't know. I've never checked on pocket tees. I would just have to talk to my guy that does them. So the best way to contact me is you have to call me. Period. End of discussion. If you don't call me, you won't get a hold of me. Multiple reasons for that. Primarily, texts and emails are never complete. One out of every 8 or 10 emails will actually have enough information to work with when I used to do emails and texts. On emails and texts, and I know a lot of you guys have heard this, but I know we've got some newbies on here, so I'll run by it real quick. I've got to have all the details about what you're looking for and what you need. The deals about your vehicle as well as the specific parts. Do you have any Chevy trucks is what I get on texts. I got a text. Well, here's some examples of texts I get because I started screenshotting them. Thank you. I'll be back visiting family right now, but I'm interested. What's the price? Apparently, I left this guy a message about something, who knows when. And it says, I'm out of town, but I'm interested. What's the price? That's what I get on texts. And I have no idea when I contacted that guy, what I left him a voicemail about. I mean, who knows? And there was one we talked about here a week or two ago. It said, I got a text that said, how much for the Econoline? That was the whole text. That's what I get on texts. So basically, give me a phone call. I write you on this notepad. I got all your information on here. I have your list on here. I go out to the vehicles and I check it and I can call you back. So you've got to call me. That's the only way to do it. That's the only way. And realistically, 9 times out of 10, I end up asking people more questions than they're asking me, trying to get enough information out of them to figure out what they need. I had a guy call me today for a 67 Pontiac convertible frame, and that's all he kept saying. 67 Pontiac convertible, 67 Pontiac convertible, 67 Pontiac. I was like, a Tempest convertible and a Bonneville convertible do not have the same frame, but they're all a 67 Pontiac. And I had to ask him 3 times to try to figure that out, because that's what I get on phone calls. I mean, I know you guys know in your head exactly what you got, but I don't. So that's why the phone calls are so critical. So anyway, let's see. Let me get caught back up. We need pocket tees for the reading glasses. Tony's here with us. No late 60s sobs at all. Still not. Let's see. All right, Johnny Z's here with us. And it looks like we're caught back up there pretty much. So, but yes, calling me is the only way to do it. If you send me a text, you send me an email. The other nice thing about phone calls, Hudson Badge, is scammers won't call you. Scammers can email 100 people and they keep their email thread going. Same with a text. Then they know what they have and have not told you. If a scammer will never call you because they can't keep their lies straight. So that's another reason that I do it. Primarily, I need the information, but a scammer won't waste their time calling you because they can't keep their lies straight where they can following on a text or an email. But anyway, back to Mecum. They obviously are planning a full docket by starting at 9 o'clock on Sunday morning. Or 9 o'clock Thursday morning, excuse me, and then running all day Thursday, all day Friday, and all day Saturday. Our plans as of right now is to be there for the duration. Tractor Mike will be here sometime mid-morning on Wednesday because he lives west of me out in western Kansas. Martin from Tucson's here. So Tractor Mike is leaving his house first thing Wednesday morning, heading here, and then we will get rounded up, grab Dad's pickup, get Dad, and get headed to Kansas City. So that's kind of our plans, and plan on being there pretty much for the whole deal. We've got friends up there that are going to meet us. It's always a great time. If nothing else, we get to hang out. We sit around the hotel, drink a few beers at night, eat at a couple of different cool places. Hey, it's a win, and you get to check out all kinds of cool cars. So I know I'm not buying any cars, and I know Tractor Mike isn't planning on buying any cars. I don't know, maybe Dad will find something he likes or some of the other guys, but I think Tractor Mike is out. I know I'm out, but like I said, worst case scenario, absolute worst case scenario about it. We hang out, look at cars, all kinds of cool cars, see them roll across the block, have some fun. I am actually somewhat working. I do need to cover it for Old Cars Weekly again, so I will be making some notes for Old Cars Weekly, as well as doing some video content for you guys. Jim Wicks should be there, so hopefully we'll get some cool videos with Jim like we always do. Those are always great, very informative videos. John from San Antonio is on with us. And so hopefully we'll get half the time to do some cool stuff like that as well. And like I said, hopefully we'll be doing some videos with some of you guys if you're there. So like I said, look me up if you're going to be there. I know I've had a few of you guys contact me already, and a few guys that have made comments they plan on being there. So definitely keep your eyes peeled, look us up, and it'll be a good time. Even if it's not a good time, it's still going to be a good time because we're hanging out with a bunch of car guys and we're checking out a bunch of cool cars. So looking forward to that. But what else happened this week that I did, which was pretty interesting, was I spent all day Friday, or almost all day Friday. Actually, me and Dad and Addie and the guy that I bought it from spent a good chunk of Friday digging this thing out. So I do finally have it back here. I unloaded most of the boxes yesterday. I dug through a bunch of the stuff. That was one good thing about yesterday being crappy, is I was stuck in the shop, but I did actually get to go through the boxes, sort a bunch of stuff out, and actually kind of see what I wrote a check for. Mark is not on tonight again. He did text me and said he's had a bunch of stuff going on. He wants to be back on hopefully in a few weeks. But I did hear from Mark Falcon, and he's just, like I said, he's tied up. He said he wants to be back on as soon as possible, but his things have gotten crazy. So I said, no problem. Whenever, obviously, so everybody was asking about you, and whenever you can get things squared away, definitely hope to see you back. Pontiac GTO Judge is back on. Glad to talk to you this week. And I don't know if you talked to Mike or not, but you need to give him a shout. So cheap matchbooks tonight, yeah. But so Friday's project turned into a major project. Actually, we took 2 trucks, 2 trailers, and I was almost wondering if we were going to get everything back. Really, it was, we did get everything on, but I was actually starting to worry because this car is in that many pieces. We had that many boxes, that many loose pieces to load. But we did manage to get it all on and get it home. So Neil's here with us. Charles is on with us. Glad you guys made it. Glad Alan's here with us. Auburn badge. And the car was in bare metal, so obviously we had to boogie it back Friday with, because I couldn't get a chance of letting this thing get wet because this thing is in bare metal. And it is in amazing condition. But I did finally, after 2 months, got the 58 Impala picked up. And it is a great car. I am excited about it. It's going to make somebody I don't know if I'm going to part it out or sell it. It depends on if somebody shows up and wants to buy it. Scott's here with us. Sam's on with us. But I got this whole packet of paperwork with it. In fact, it's still there. I was just going through it last night or the night before. But I had this whole packet of paperwork on the 58 Impala. And I found this letter in here. Is this the paperwork? Oh, yeah. The guy that I bought this car, I bought it out of the estate. Yeah, JJ, actually, we're raffling these off. Next Sunday night, we're giving these away. 2. The first name out of the big Buick oil can into the raffle for next Sunday night. Giving those away, as well as 2nd and 3rd place. Giving away license plates next Sunday night. If you want to be in, JJ, be sure to get into the raffle. Let's see. Big Job needs a receptionist to keep typing hello for all the new, and that's great. And it's awesome. You guys do welcome the new people in. So that's what I figured. He was going to be at least a year out. So, but hopefully something works out. Hopefully that maybe it'll work out. You can get it in. So, but the 58 Impala that I bought it from the estate of the guy that bought it in 2006. He had a notarized letter, a notarized affidavit from the people that he bought the car, and they had bought the car in 1976. In 1976, when they bought the car, it had 17,000 miles on it, actual. Now the odometer today, yesterday when I dug it out of the box, showed 33,000. So I believe this is actually a 33,000 mile 58 Impala. It's just in a gajillion pieces. But I mean, there's a lot of stuff in here. Owner's manual still in here. All kinds of stuff in here. So it's a cool car. I've been working on the video. Obviously, we shot a bunch of stuff the other day. I don't know if I can find a couple shots here, I'll give you guys a couple of a clue as to what we were dealing with. Because it was a big project getting this thing out. Let me see. Bear with me here real quick. Just so you guys have an idea Okay, here's what we started with on Friday. There's the body. So, yep, that's what we started with. The chassis was done. So we had to get the body back on the frame and get this thing out. So we had to literally, I don't know if I've got any shots of any of that, because I think we just had video running while we were moving it, getting the frame out, et cetera, et cetera. So it was a challenge. No, it was blasted. The whole car was blasted, but it looks like they did a decent job. All the panels look nice and smooth and straight. Didn't look like they warped anything. I don't know how long it's been on the rotisserie. The guy bought it in 06, and I think he tore it apart right away because I found receipts in there from like 08. So I think he took it apart around 07, 08. So there was the chassis. And now it's back on the chassis, bolted down. The body is actually phenomenal. It did have some rust in it, but every bit of rust has been replaced with new metal. It's literally to the point where it needs the metalwork finished out and the rust replacement. And this thing's ready to start, priming and blocking. And it's an amazing car. Power steering, power brakes, Wonder Bar. Electric wipers. So not in, for a fairly well loaded, did not have air. Came with that too. Oh, but something else I want to show you guys, just one more sneak peek. Before we move on here, as we're talking about the Impala. Like I said, I believe this is a 33,000 mile car. There's the front seat. And it's original. And the back seat is just as good. And the door panels are just as good. So, yeah, it's a pretty good car. But there it is for we were getting ready to head back. It was, we got our body back on the frame, got all the sheet metal loaded, got it bolt the body, couple bolts back into it. 73 Buick Man's here with us again tonight. Glad you made it back. So yeah, I've got, and like I said, it's going to take some time because like when we rolled the body on the rotisserie was in one part of the shop. This was actually an old dealership, believe it or not, an old Oldsmobile dealership building. And I got some other super cool stuff coming that I bought while I was there Friday. After it's a 348 four barrel. It's supposed to be the original 30,000 mile 348 four barrel, and then I got the 3 Deuces to go with it too. So it was factory white, supposedly white with a gold top and gold interior is what they told me. You're right, Plano, Wisconsin. Air conditioning was a high dollar option, 58, and this car did not have air, but it does have a full set of chrome reverse wheels on it. I mean, this thing definitely would have looked like American Graffiti car. There's no doubt about it. But it's a heck of a car. I mean, if somebody wanted to build a 58, this thing is about as good as it gets. Because everything was good. Just everything. Okay, we got ads coming. I just seen something that said ads coming. So, yep, it was a 348. So let me know if you guys see ads, and we'll back off for a second. Yep, there we go. I just seen it pop up clear down there in the corner. So, okay, well, you guys let me know when we're all clear, and we'll finish up. Okay, Nut Farm's back. Okay, we're good. So, the 58, like I said, when the body was on a rotisserie in one part of the building, they still had a regular 2-post lift in there that we had to use to get the body up off the rotisserie. The chassis was up in what was the showroom area, so that had to go out another overhead door, then back into the other part of the shop. And so it was It was quite an ordeal. Like I said, the guy that I bought it from, he was the son of the owner that passed away, and Addie was there, so we helped get that done. And Dad ran the lift up and down while we kind of finagled things. So basically, I just set the phone up on my tripod as we moved the body out, and then reset the tripod as we rolled the body in the rotisserie into the lift and got the body up, and then reset the tripod as we rolled the chassis back out. So I've got to get all that stuff, because some of those videos are, 5 minutes, but there's only a minute and a half of us actually doing something. So I need to trim all that up and get it all put together. And then, of course, there was a big, like yesterday was 17 and a half minutes just going through boxes on the video. But the cool part about it was every box I opened was good. So it was, just a neat car. So you guys are going to dig the video on that. And I hope you guys enjoy it. Like I said, it should be built, but like I said, I may just end up parting it out, Auburn badge. One thing about it is it's all apart. I don't have to take anything apart. I just have to list the parts and put them in a box and ship them. So it's kind of what would be the best plan of attack on this thing. If somebody's interested in it, obviously now's the time. When I get the video up, you'll have a better idea. But like I said, I may just end up parting it out because it's already apart. But it is cool, and they are a neat car. So what's next? One other thing before we get into the promo model, Hudson badge. I got a book that I want to share with you guys. And I've just got it. I haven't read the whole thing yet. Ford cab over was the high-low control for the transmission on the dash. I don't really know. I've never driven one of those trucks with a high-low in it. So I do know there were some controls on it, but that was a week ago when I shot that stuff. So I don't even really know for sure what that looked like. So you could be right. I'd have to double check that again and see, but I don't remember off the top of my head. But one other thing I want to catch before we get into the promo model and the badges, I told you guys we had a book coming, and I don't know, we'll see if the author has time to get on with us or not. I texted him and told him we were going to be talking about it tonight. A friend of mine just finished this book, and I do some work with Old Cars Weekly, and Angelo von Bogart. Did anybody get the magazine from last week? I don't think I've got it yet. But Angelo just finished this book. I ordered a copy of it. It's one of those things that it's cars that 2 years ago I would have never even thought about. They're cars that are so far out of the realm of your normal person you don't even think about it. But fortunately, with my involvement with the Auburn Cord Duesenberg company, and then when Doug found that Model J and allowing me to come do the videos with him on that, I've learned a lot about Duesenbergs. Angelo's a huge Duesenberg fan, and he just finished a new book on them, and it's great. I finally had to take the book out of the shop because I had it laying out on the shipping bench, and every time I walked by it, I'd flip it open and look at something, and then I'd sit down and start reading that section. I wasn't getting any work done. It wasn't very productive. So finally, after I did that about 6 times, I was like, I need to just get this out of my way, take it home, read it when I go to bed, and get it out of the shop. But here it is, and I want to share it with you. The Duesenberg SSJ, the Special Speedsters. Tons of great pictures. Now, the 2 cars this book is about, and this is kind of the crazy part about it, was these Duesenbergs back in the 30s. Duesenberg's big marketing deal was to have their cars shown with celebrities. I mean, that was their market. So they wanted people to think they were like celebrities. Yeah, Alex, you can actually get you a signed copy, and I'm going to give you the ordering information here in a little bit. But these Special Speedsters, they were a shortened wheelbase, supercharged Model J is what these cars were. And these 2 cars were actually driven by, one was for Gary Cooper, one was for Clark Gable. So that's where these cars went. And that's what this book is about. It talks about the cars, the development of the cars. But one thing, like we touched on earlier, there's so much cool information in here. And when we talked about they used celebrities and things like that to help promote the cars, I love this picture. This picture here with this big Duesenberg right here that we're checking out. This guy right here, Frank, is it Frank? Was his name Frank? Frank Morgan, the Wizard of Oz. This was the actor who was the wizard in the Wizard of Oz, and he's shown with the Duesenberg. This book, Angelo had been working on this book for quite a while. He started on it before his kids were born. He had his twins, and now he got it finished up. But so the great part about getting it finished up was the Gable car was being restored. So they have filled in a lot of the blank spaces about these cars when that car came apart, because these cars had never been apart. So they have some cool restoration photos of these cars in here, or the Gable car especially. But look at this thing. July 2023 is when this restoration was finished. This thing is magnificent. Look at the pictures in here. Engine shots. So I think Angelo's on with us. Just sent me a text that he was on. So I think Angelo is on with him. If you guys have any comments about it. But this is just, like I said, every time I walked by, I would just flip to something. And then I would just like, hey, that looks cool. So then I start reading it. Well, then 10 minutes later, it's like, I just got nothing done because I'm sitting here reading this book. But there's just, I mean, the axle assemblies, I mean, just so much detail in this stuff. And like I said, we could go on and spend the rest of the night on this thing, but I wanted to share it with you because it looks just amazing, just what I'm getting into. Obviously, we like to talk about books on here occasionally anyway, but I thought this one, and I thought some of you guys, Rich just did title work last week for a 35 Auburn. Yep, awesome. So Randy Ema, the Duesenberg expert, was heavily involved with Angelo on helping with this thing. Look at these old pictures of these things. So yeah, now you guys can see how every time you open the book to this page, you're like, well, what's that? So you got to stop and start reading it. So then I had to, I said, I had to get it out of the shop. Who did the restoration on that car? It was in here. Let me see if I can find it. Rouse Rod and Custom, ROWE apostrophe S Rod and Custom is who did the restoration on it. So, like I said, I've been, like every time I walk by, it's just, look at this showroom display. Check this shot out. So anyway, like I said, I was just, you can't not flip open something like this and say, oh, well, glass wind deflectors, special speedster coachwork. Well, what's the special speedster coachwork, and why did it have glass wind deflectors? So you got to stop and find that out when you see that. So you can see why this. I had to just get this out of the shop. Brian's here. Glad you're here. So anyway, I'm excited to get into this. I've started reading a little bit about it. Like I said, Duesenbergs are not in the realm of most people's budgets, but they are amazing works of automotive history. How do you get one? Good question, Pete. I'm going to get to that. There are two ways you can order it. I know Alex asked about it, and I know we can't put email addresses in here, so I just wrote it out. Duesenberg SSJbook at Gmail. You can email Angelo directly there, or you can buy it at diechasm.com. I think Angelo said if you got to use a credit card, you have to go through there, but you can order it directly. You can email him directly there, and he can get you the information to get it directly from him. So I just wrote that out. I hope everybody can see that clearly. Duesenberg SSJ book at Gmail or diechasm.com. And if you need that later, call me or I can post it into budget $750 for the restoration. I'm sure it probably was, and that was a nice car to start with. So I'm sure it was at least $750, and I think it was a pretty good car before they took it apart. So I believe the family that owns it now has owned it since 1963. It's been passed through about 3 family members as it's been passed down, but I believe it's been with the same family since 1963. So anyway, obviously looks amazing. Like I said, I had to finally just get it out of the shop. Yeah, $3 million for an SSJ. Yeah, $3 million plus is easily, the budget you're talking about for a car like that. So look at this. I mean, Duesenberg race cars. That's right, Big Job. If you were rolling in a Duesenberg, nobody would outbid you during auctions. So anyway, that's what we've got. Angela said he's commenting, but I'm not seeing it. Let me check with him real quick. Because I haven't seen any comments from Angela, but he said he was. So that is definitely if you have to ask, you can't afford it type deal. There's no doubt about it. Okay, you must be on the Nobody Show Facebook page. The Nobody Show YouTube channel or the Nobody Else's Auto Facebook page are the only comments I can see. The video is shared to the Nobody's Show page from the Nobody Else's Auto page. So he's on the Nobody Show page on Facebook, apparently, because I'm not seeing him on my Facebook feed either. So we'll see if he can jump on either the Nobody Else's Auto page or the Nobody Show on YouTube. But like I said, it's I just every time I flip through it, I end up you see something, you're like, oh my gosh, what's that? I gotta stop and check that out. So cool book. And like I said, if you need the information, let me know. If you couldn't get it, I'll hold it up one more time and I can also post it. Okay, Kevin L says you've got to be subscribed on YouTube as well, or the comments won't feed, or won't show up. There's no coupon code for the book, but I think it is a couple bucks cheaper if you order it. Duesenberg SSJ book at gmail.com. But he cannot take a credit card on there, so. So check it out. And it's, like I said, looks like really good stuff. So anyway, we'll see if he's switching feeds or not, and we'll get ready to move forward with the chat. So, but regardless, be sure to check it out. If you've got any questions, be sure to get a hold of me, or like I said, I will post the information after we get done on both formats. How many pages is it? 120. Oh, it even shows the toys. They even made toys of these things. So, oh, look at that. Holy cow. We got to get something. We got to get something done tonight, but this is just, I got to show you this. Where'd it go? Look at this. Yeah, good stuff. So anyway, there's the information where you can get it. I will post that later, and we'll go from there. So holler if you guys want to get one, or email Angelo, and he'll definitely get you hooked up because it's good stuff. Anyway, and if Angelo jumps on one of these other formats where we can see his comments, then we'll definitely address that too. So anyway, On to the promo model. Okay, Angelo is on YouTube now. He just texted me, so perfect. At the ACD Museum, they have the original drafting table, design room, and lots of drawings. And I think Randy Ema has a lot of the original Duesenberg drawings as well. There we go. There's Angelo. So if you got questions for Angelo, he is on with us now. Okay, it was Rouse Rod and Custom as the Ferrara family had them restore other cars, such as a Pierce Arrow. So perfect. Great. So, all right, we got Angelo with us. So it just took us a second to get everything sorted out. Lots of hearts. I love the hearts. Thanks for the hearts, guys. So, all right. If anybody's got any questions for Angelo, now's the time to get them out there. We just got mixed up on our formats here. And like I said, if you've got questions, Angelo can get you one. Okay, so it is a little bit cheaper if you want the discount to email Angelo, and he will get you hooked up on that, and get one to you. So it, like I said, it's well worth. Like I said, from what I've seen, it's well worth it. My biggest problem was every time I opened it up, I needed to get to work and wasn't getting there. And that's right. With Angelo is the editor of Old Cars Weekly as well. So, and they're doing some amazing things there, just like Pete noted that they're doing a great job. So perfect. Alex wants to get a book and getting an email off to Angelo. Like I said, it's well worth it. Always want to support your friends and people that are making things happen. And I didn't realize Angelo's been at Old Cars for 20 years. Holy cow. But and still loves it. So. But anyway, like I said, get one for yourself, guys. Check it out. Let us know what you think. I'm pretty excited about it. So glad Angelo finally did get caught up with us on the comments here, and 23 years now, losing track of time. Hey, that happens. We got a Hudson badge though for everybody. So anyway, Angelo's still on. We're going to move on to the promo model. If you guys have any questions, be sure to throw those up there. And Angelo, while Angelo's on with us, lots more comments about Old Cars Weekly. That's great because we talk about it on here a lot. And you guys know that I'm a fan of it, and definitely encourage any of you to subscribe. Leo's here with us. Plan Wisconsin trying to buy the promo model, and we don't even have it up for auction yet, or don't even have it up to look at it yet. Or they want the Hudson badge, which we're not selling, but. So anyway, let's get on to the promo. Angelo's on. If you guys want to fire something off at him, question-wise or comment-wise about Old Cars Weekly or the book. And tonight's promo is really an odd duck. I bought a handful of these from a guy at Springfield Swap Meet. Did not even realize they were different until he pointed it out to me. Yep, Hudson badge we're not selling, that's for sure. But this is really unique. In 1949, Ford obviously completely redesigned their car. Complete redesign, ready for the first post-war redesign, full redesign car they produced. What I did not realize, and like I said, I like promo models. I'm a big fan of promo models. That they made an early and a late promo model. I was not aware of that. This guy had about 4 or 5 promos, so I bought them all because I knew Dad would want a couple and I wanted a couple. But he pointed out to me, he said, some of those are early, some of those are late. I thought 49 Fords were all the same. He said, the cars were, but the promos weren't. I was not aware of that. He had a couple of each, bought them all. So this blue 1949 Ford sedan looks pretty much like a 49 Ford. What I was not aware of was there were some styling changes in these cars, some rather dramatic styling changes. Now, this one is in pretty good shape. Obviously, the grille and the bumper's all still intact, front and rear. It's not all busted. And that's right, Alan got it. These weren't mid-year changes. They started making the toys before the cars, but look right here. Suicide doors on the rear. Originally planned for the 49 Ford sedan. And on the trunk, it's all nice and smooth across here. Yep, 49 Ford was not supposed to have an external trunk hinge originally. So no trunk hinges, suicide rear doors on the early 49 Ford promo models. So thought that was kind of interesting. I love the color on this one, a nice blue. You can actually see the color changes and the waves of when this was molded. No interior in this. It just has basically solid chrome windows with a little bit of surface rust on them. But all the tires, wheels, and hubcaps are here. Originally was a friction type promo, but none of that works right now. Yeah, exactly, Pete. I didn't know that either. I was just like, promo models. I'll take them all. He's like, well, you know, there's two. I was like, well, no, I don't. I want to buy them because they're promo models. So, but was not aware of that there was an early and a late 1949 Ford promo. So hopefully you guys learned something too. And when you're out looking at promo models, maybe you'll be thinking about that next time. JJ came in from Vice Grip Garage. Glad you're staying by for a while, JJ. Hope to see you next week for a while. So, yep, was a wind-up. That does not work anymore, but still in pretty good shape. Great color and very interesting. Right, and that's what Angelo said. He goes, he thought he knew promos too. And I was just like, I'm just buying them all. I want to buy them all. And he's like, well, there's different ones. I'm like, I don't know. They all look like 49 Fords to me. Nope, two different ones. So we'll get one of the other ones out a little bit later on. But I thought that was kind of an interesting tidbit that we wanted to throw out. So Brock didn't know that either. So that's, like I said, we're all learning something. That's the whole point. That's why this says Sunday Night Live Chat, not Sunday Night Chad talking to everybody. This is everybody learning and everybody's knowledge and everybody sharing to help all of us learn more. We get Angelo on here more. Angelo's written all kinds of books. I got a Cadillac book he wrote. Angelo's probably going to answer half our questions for us on a lot of this stuff. But I thought this was pretty cool. So we'll get one of the later ones out and compare them here in a future episode. And but there it is, the suicide door early production 1949 Ford promo model. Hold on, I got to skip ads. All right, hopefully that shut those down. So, cool piece. Hope you guys enjoyed it. All right. Auburn badge. Let's get to some of the badges we're going to talk about, though. We'll give you a Hudson badge, too. What the heck? And then let's get on to some other badges, because we all like badges. Starting off badges tonight, as always, we'll do a pre-war, and then we'll do a post-war badge. Then we're going to get into some story time. Then we're going to talk about the raffle. And then we're going to get into the auctions. And the auction boxes are stuffed full. And I actually just started going through stuff from the Fort Scott auction. I've got the video up. I've not shown you the haul video, what it came home, but I've got a few pieces already in here. A little bit of warpage on this promo, but it's not bad. We've got kind of a little whoop-de-doo in the hood here. And a little bit of whoop-de-doo in the trunk. I don't know if you guys can kind of see that or not. You know, the sides of it and stuff are really in pretty decent shape considering it's a 49. So not bad. Just a little bit of whoop-de-doo here in the flat areas on the hood and the trunk. That's right, Bill. For 49, it's pretty clean. But the first badge we're going to talk about tonight, going pre-war to a company that didn't last much longer than this because its successor actually kind of overtook them. We're all very familiar with Pontiac, but we're not all that familiar with Oakland. Yes, this was a 1926 to 1928 Oakland Greater 6 badge. Only had a few more years of life left before Pontiac overtook them. Their younger sibling that they took on that actually overtook them. And so Oakland wasn't around much longer after this 26 to 28 era badge was made. This one obviously does have some whammos in the enameling. It does have a deep blue enameling with the white letters, but a couple of good whammos in it. I don't know if you guys can make it out or not, but look at the detail that is cast into the metal of this thing, if you guys can make it out. Very ornate badge. I wish it didn't have the whammos in it, but hey, it's better than not having one at all. The button is broke off, but this was a press mount, had the button on the back that pressed it onto the grill shell. Actually says, I don't know if you guys can make it out down here at the bottom, product of General Motors, if you can see that on your screen. And it is 2 7/8 by 1 3/4 inches, so a little under 3 inches long on the length on this 1926 to 1928 Oakland radiator badge. So you guys are definitely digging this thing. Lots of good comments about the Oakland badge. And more hearts. But let's jump up to the 70s on this next badge, something that some of you guys may not be familiar with. Before Pontiac went to straight 8 and 33, they had the Oakland V8 and their 32 Pontiac. I actually had a few of those V8s laying in the new yard. Some guy come and got from me. Oakland was a division. Oakland was their own division. Pontiac was kind of their younger sister, just like LaSalle was for Cadillac. And Pontiac actually just ended up overtaking Oakland. I've actually got a porcelain sign that does say Oakland and Pontiac on it. So pretty cool sign. But jumping up into the 70s, and this is kind of a different badge. This actually mounted under the hood, believe it or not. And it was used on Mark III and Mark IV Continentals. This actually was a badge that when you open the hood, this was actually screwed under there. This one is for a Mark IV. Mark III was essentially the same thing. And in fact, I just looked at the back of the housing, and the housing has a 68 part number on it. So it was the same housing. This one says Continental Mark IV. When you open the hood, you saw Continental Mark IV or Mark III, if this was an earlier one. Engine size, carburetor, fuel, all this information, some actual even technical information was stamped right here, right in front of you for your new Lincoln Continental. These were actually just screwed right on, I believe, on the radiator support. Looked the same on a Mark III as a Mark IV. They just had changed this part here where it said Mark III, Mark IV. On the back is just a pot metal housing. But when I looked at the part number, it's a C8, I believe. C8, so it's a 68 part. So it was the same one they used on the Mark IIIs. They just changed this part and then the specs if they changed it. Not something that obviously you would sure see today. You see the sticker slapped in there. This is actually a metal badge that was under the hood. 5 inches, not counting the ears, 5 inches by 2.5 on the Continental Mark IV. And like I said, sometimes you will see these on a Mark III as well, actually giving you, it gives you transmission ratios, cooling capacity, fuel capacity, electrical system, 12 volts, 77 amp hours. Something kind of different and definitely not something you'll ever see again, especially on an actual metal badge. So kind of a cool piece there as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed those tonight. For pre-war, the 26 to 28 Oakland, and for post-war, the Lincoln Continental Mark IV under hood badge. Alex's dad had four Mark IV and 5s. That's how he learned to work on cars. I've never seen Lincoln shipped in a velvet cover. Sounds interesting. So glad you guys enjoyed them. We always try to find some different cool stuff to talk about, but that's the whole purpose. Grab 2 random badges and we can talk about those cars. And just like Alex, some of the stuff brings back certain memories for certain viewers, which is what makes it great and makes it fun. Story time. Let's check out one that we picked up several years ago. I don't know when I bought this truck. Probably 15 years ago. A little bit ahead of the craziness on these things. But I actually ended up with 3 of them on this deal. Know a lot more about them now than I did then. Literally kind of ended up with this one by default. Didn't even really know what I was getting into. When I bought this, I bought it with some other vehicles, but it was cool. It was unique. And I thought, well, somebody's going to want it. Obviously, we know today that everybody wants them because cab overs are off the charts, crazy popular. Excuse me. But this 41 Chevy is just one that I found with a group of other cars. So it didn't think much about it. Thought it was kind of unique. Yeah, they're kind of cool. Somebody's going to want one. not realizing maybe I should have sat on this one, or I actually ended up buying 2 more after this because I had a guy interested in this and he was shipping them overseas and I knew there were 2 more. So I went and bought those. And, so that was it. You know, obviously now I've got the 41 Chevy cab over that we bought from Mike Wolf on American Pickers. So obviously much more well-versed in these trucks than I ever was before now that we own one. And if you want to see that truck, there is videos of it on the channel as well. The 41 Chevy cab over that it has 3 American Pickers episodes on it. One where they found it, one where they got it running, and one where we bought it. So I've got that one in my shop. This one 15 years ago, I didn't know nothing about them. Thought it was unique. Travis is here with us. That's right. Big job. Hindsight's always 20/20. But sent it down the road. It made a couple bucks. Didn't really care. Like I said, it went to Europe. The guy that bought it, had been a cab over in a magazine over there, and the cab over craze had already kind of started in Europe. So all these three were shipped over to Europe. And like I said, and now that they're again hindsight's 20/20, now cab overs are nuts. So I've got one in my shop, the one from American Pickers, and wish I'd have kept a few pieces off of some of these for the one that I've got. But hey, you can't see 15 years in the future. So, but there it is for tonight's story time, the 1941 Chevy cab over that I found about 15 years ago. All right, let's keep moving along with, let's do raffle real quick. I only had a couple people get into the raffle this week, but I still want to acknowledge the fact that they are in there just so they know. Alec Blanchett and Big Job got in this week. Obviously, we had a big packet from the week before that, but and the Pioneer Village stuff. I've got the whole packet for Pioneer Village right here. Hoping to get up there middle of December to do their car sponsor thing. John got some money from Johnny Z just yesterday to throw in here. So keep that in mind. We're still working on raising funds for the sponsor a vehicle at Pioneer Village. If you want to round up on your auction purchases or whatever, just make sure to put a note in there so I know, just like Johnny Z did. We'll keep adding to that pile for Pioneer Village. We're going to do 3 of them for sure, plus one for Leo's dad that he sent specifically money for Leo's dad. And we're going to have some fun with that and help them kick that program off. But like I said, next Sunday night, boom, boom, boom. First name out of the big Buick oil can is going to get all 3, the 1916, the 1917, and the 1918 Kansas plates, all well over 100 years old, all original paint, all in good condition. Next week, second and third place. Second place is going to get their choice from the Nebraska plate or the pair of Newell stock sequential 74 Kansas plates, and then third place will get the last one. So next Sunday night, big auction night, big raffle night. Make sure you guys are in. It's the last week to get in to the big Buick oil can. So we're filling her up. We're getting names in there right now. So do you see a lot of those names in there? Nope, Angelo, you are not the first person to ask about raffling the can. It's one of my favorite cans. Dad found these in an old repair shop several years ago. So, and it is a great can. There's no doubt about it. But what the heck? We're here. Let's yank one out. Let's do a bonus drawing. Bonus drawings do not affect your chances in the big drawing, and your bonus drawings will ship with your next shipment. They do not ship separately. Who do we got? Big Job. Big Job on a bonus drawing. So, we got to get the next can out for the bonus drawing. What are we going to yank out of here? How about this? Big Job gets whatever this is. You guys want to see it? I'm sure you do want to see it. Let's see here. Oh, little Woody. Little toy Ford Woody. Slide that right back in there. Get Big Job's name on there. And we'll throw that in his next box. And like I said, bonus raffles. If we do another tonight, Big Job is out for tonight, but that goes right back into the can for the main drawing next week. So anyway, having a great time with you guys tonight. Got a great crowd on. Glad you guys are here. And guess what? That brings us up to auction time. You guys ready to have an auction? Because the boxes are full. We got a lot of cool stuff to sell. We got some amazing stuff that we're going to add to your guys' collection. So let's get to it on tonight's auctions. Get my notes here ready. I thought there was something like that. The plastic T-Bird that Pete got was a Clinton's here, a post cereal prize. So anyway, auction time. Here's what we're going to do on auction tonight. As always, I will hold up an item. We'll check it out. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about that vehicle. I'll point out any defects in the piece. I'll give you some dimensions on it. As we're talking about it, checking it out, looking it over, if you guys are interested in it, go ahead and throw a bid out there so I know that I've got interest in that particular piece. After we get done with the description, I will put it on a timer right here on my phone. We will go 2 minutes. I will tell you when 1 minute has passed. I will tell you when 1 minute, 30 seconds has passed. When I tell you 1 minute, 30 seconds has passed, be thinking about your maximum bid. Everybody has a delay, and it just varies. Some people it's 5 seconds, some people it's 20 seconds. Depends on your whether you're on a phone, PC, tablet, laptop, as well as your internet provider, as to what your delay may or may not be. So please bear that in mind. I will tell you when a minute has passed, 1:30. Whoever is the high bidder that I see on my screens, whether it's Facebook or YouTube, when we hit the 2 minute mark, I will announce as the winner. All I can go by is what I see. So, payments, check, money order, Western Union, PayPal, friends and family. Like Alan said, full dollar amounts only. I don't care if you only bid $1. You can bid, don't bid 53 cents. So, Johnny Z is testing and ready to go. Shipping, everything tonight will have shipping included. There will not be any extra shipping on any of this. There's no big stuff tonight, so shipping will be included in the 48 states. If you're non-U.S., you're more than welcome to play. Just you will have shipping out of the continental 48 states. Reason being, this deal kind of funds itself and feeds itself. So if we spend several $100s shipping a couple packages out of the country, it kind of screws it up for everybody else. You are more than welcome to play. You just have to get me paid in U.S. funds and cover shipping on it. Tony's here. So please bear that in mind. And if you've got any questions, you're not sure what's going on, but you want to play along, go ahead and throw a bid out there. If you win something, you're still not sure what to do, my number is in the description part of the video. Give me a call tomorrow. So Big Job wants a pedal car for the Christmas auction. I do not have a pedal car in the pile yet, but I guess I could throw one in there because next week is going to be the big Christmas auction. If you guys haven't been with us here the last few weeks, everybody wanted to do a big auction night. That will be next week. We'll probably talk about Meekum a little bit, and then we're going to roll into the auctions. And I've got some better stuff worked in there. You guys wanted some better stuff with reserve minimum prices on it. And I got some cool stuff in there. I've probably got 50 pieces in there already. Don't even know if we're going to get through it all. Look, Tweedly D just finally admitted it at least. Tweedly D says he's shopping for himself, which we all know we're really shopping for ourselves, but we're just going to say we're Christmas shopping because it's cool stuff that we want for our own collections. But hey, that's okay. I understand that. I do it all the time. Tweedly D just actually admitted it, so that's okay too. But that's what the plans are for next week. So maybe get get warmed up. If you're not familiar with the format, get warmed up tonight and get ready to go for next week. So anyway, that being said, if you guys have any other questions, just go ahead and throw them up there. I know we've got a lot of new people on, or have been getting some new people on, and I appreciate you guys coming by. That's everybody's finally agreeing it. They're admitting that we're saying we're buying shopping for other people, but we know it's not true. We'll go ahead and get into tonight. So, like I said, if you guys are new and you have a question, throw it up there. Or if you want to just bid and then call me tomorrow, we'll get it figured out. Not a big deal. So let's go ahead and get rolling. We got some cool stuff tonight. Like I said, some of this stuff, fresh meat from the auction. I have not been through all of it yet, but I did pick some stuff out. And we got some cool stuff. So let's go ahead and get started. I got junk scattered everywhere here. Let's see what we got. Now, because of the delay, I will try to read off all of the bids as I see them for the first few items. Now, we get three, 4, 5 items in, and I see 3 bids pop up at the same time. I'm only going to read the high bid. For the first few items, I will read all the bids as I see them so you guys have a better feel for where things are at and what's going on. That way you kind of can understand where your delay may or may not be. And that's right. Another good point, Tweedledee, since they have changed this ad situation about a month ago. If you see ads pop up, let me know immediately. I try to watch for any warnings I get. Sometimes I don't get a warning. I will stop the timer immediately at that point until everybody gives me an all clear. So keep that in mind if you see ads pop up so I can shut everything down until everybody gets clear and we can get ready to go. So we'll start off with some simpler stuff. We'll start off with some maps tonight. We got a bundle of maps, starting off with a mobile map from San Diego. I don't know how in the world San Diego got in the middle to central Kansas, but a mobile San Diego map with the Pegasus on the front of them. An Illinois map from Texaco. Leo starting us off at 10 on these. A standard map from the central United States. And if anybody went to Colorado in 1965, this is probably how you got around. Yes, a specifically 1965 colorful Colorado map. So this map bundle is going to be all 4 pieces. All 3 of the service station ones do have the logos on them. Let's go ahead and get this thing rolling. I've got Leo kicking us off at 10. If I can hold these things up. And as always, we'll start off with some of this cheaper stuff and work into some of the better stuff as we move along here. So we are live on the timer. I've got Leo at 10. Let's go ahead and get rolling on the maps. I'll kind of start peeking around at what we need to do next. We've got a little bit of everything tonight. We've got cans, maps, plates, few toys, few caps. We got a lot of cool stuff tonight. Leo at 10 on the maps. Leo must be our only map guy tonight. Brian at 10, but I had Leo at 10 first. So you got to be at least 11, Brian. And we're coming up on the 1 minute mark. So there's 1 minute. 1 minute has now passed. On the back side of these, Leo at 10. Coming up on the minute 30 mark. And there's a minute 30, 30 seconds left on the maps. Leo at 10. Brian came in at 10, but I had Leo first. So Brian wants to throw another bid out there. As we're coming out of the wire, Leo may sneak out of there with these easily. Charles at 12. Leo at 16. Brian at 15, but I had Leo at 16 at the 2 minute mark. You guys are getting this deal figured out pretty good. That was the first item, and everybody kind of sat there till the end. So we got those to Leo at 16. All right, let's get a can in here. This one I actually need to drain. It's still full. There again, a little bit of more of a plain can, kind of a cheaper one to start off with, but a pretty unique one, especially for our boat fans. We have any boat fans on here? We've sold a few boat cans occasionally. You guys seem to like them. This one's for Johnson Outboards. This is a metal can. Has the Johnson logo up here. You can see the seam on it where it was sealed. Actually, let's just hit the like button. Appreciate that. System matched parts and accessories on this new Johnson Outboard lubricant can. Now, this can, I'm thinking it is 70s era. It actually has, yeah, your cars are boats. Yeah, I guess that kind of counts. They added a barcode to this can on the bottom. It has a sticker for a barcode. So late 70s, I'm guessing. The cans were already made, and they put a barcode on it. Nut Farm at 10. On the Johnson can. Big Job, is that 73? Big Job, is that what you meant on that? On the Johnson Outboard can. That's what I thought. When I saw a number pop up, I was kind of wondering. So Nut Farm at 10. Still sealed on the top. I will drain this from the bottom. On the Johnson Outboard metal can. What's it say? Has all the basic warnings on the back. Just trying to read about boats on the back of here, seeing what it says. So, Nut Farm at 10. Yep, do not drink. Yeah, you definitely don't want to do that. I think it would lube you up, but I don't think you feel very good. 1 minute has passed. There's a 1 minute mark. Nut Farm at 10. Leo at 11. Yeah, that's what I thought, Big Job. I was like, that's weird. I just seen that number. When I see numbers pop up in the auction, that's what I'm watching for. So I didn't think that was what you wanted to do, but I see a number pop up, and it's kind of like, that's just like castor oil. Yeah. X-Ray Dean at 12. That's right. Break out another 1,000. I've never had a boat, because that's what you always hear about them. We're past the minute 30 mark, too. I've got Dean at 12. Got a few seconds left. Anybody else going to jump on this one? Dean at 12. Leo at 13. Nut Farm at 15. And that does it. Randall at the Nut Farm at 15. Charles was at 15 as well at 201. But I had the Nut Farm at 15 at the 200 mark, just ahead of Charles's 15. Now, what we got coming up next is something a little bit different. Dad had a couple of handfuls of these jars, so he brought them over to me. He kept some. I'm going to keep some. But they're really cool, and they were tune-up jars. Thought, well, I got all these tune-up jars. How can I liven them up and make them even cooler? Stuff them full of stuff. So we're going to sell some of these jars that are full. Leo's starting us off at 10. Outcast is here. Actually, I do not have any boats out there, Outcast. Glad you stopped by. But these jars are from Standard Motor Products. These jars were actually in service departments back decades ago, and you kept your tune-up parts in them. This one actually had a bush. It carried a bushing in it. Had the part number right on it, the Standard logo. And I said, I've got a couple of handfuls of these. I thought, well, what can we do to make them more fun? Fill them up. So So I grabbed a handful of matchbooks and I filled it up. I don't know what all's in there. Oh, hello, Gray Kitty. You decided to stop by tonight? Come here, dummy. You want to say hi? Yes, I can ship that full if you want, Nut Farm, if you want to pay extra. Not supposed to, but if you want to cover the extra weight, I can. Come here, dummy. Yes, you want to say hi real quick? Yes, say hi, Gray Kitty. What? Look, everybody's over here. They want to say hi. Right here. Hey, dummy, say hi. Yes, you're going to say hi to everybody. No, you want to lay into my hand. Yes. All right. There's a Gray Kitty. Okay. Park it over here, Gray Kitty. Oh, now you want to come back over. You were fine over there a little bit ago. Yeah, are you the supervisor? Neil said you're the supervisor. I think you're a pain in the butt. That's what I think you are. I think you're a pain in the butt. That's what I think. Yes, the glass jar is embossed right down here. This is actually stamped in it. Yeah, that's what he calls your cat too, yeah. So yes, this is actually cast into the glass. I grabbed a handful of matchbooks. I didn't even really go through them. I opened them all up and I cut the match tips off of them so they weren't technically a fire hazard to ship them. And I jam-packed it full of matchbooks. So that's what we've got on the standard motor products. It's got the label. It's cast in here. It has the original cap. Reincarnated Ed McMahon. You're a reincarnated pain in the butt is what you are. Dean at 16 on the standard motor products jar, jam-packed full of matchbooks. Let's get this thing going on the timer. I've got Dean at 16. Yes, you're a pain. Leo at 19. Alan at 20. Dennis at 20. Dean at 21. I don't know how many matchbooks I put in here. Leo at 25. There's about that many in there, plus these. Joe's Classics made it tonight. Leo at 25 on the standard motor products jar, jam-packed full of matchbooks. And there's the 1 minute mark. 1 minute has passed. Leo at 25. Hey, what are you doing? Dean at 26. Leo at 28. And there's the minute 30 mark. 1 minute, 30 seconds has passed. Leo at 28. Coming out of the wire on this one, Leo at 28. Kenny at 30. Rich at 33. And that does it. Rich at 33. Leo at 31 after the fact. Rich at 33 on the standard jar with matchbooks. We'll have more jars, Dean. I've got more jars. We'll just I'm just stuffing different things in them. So Rich, I don't know if that's your first win or not, Rich. I don't remember if you've won before or not. If so, congratulations on that. All right. Oh, let's do a license plate. Hey, can I have the license plate? Hey, can I have the license plate? Thank you. All right. It's warm from Gray Kitty sitting on it. On this 1967 Kansas 3-digit 388. Leo at 10. This is a standard size 12x6 plate. It's got a little surface rust on a few areas in here, but still has good color. The back of it looks nice, so it's been well preserved. Just has some surface rust and stuff in here around the numbers, if you guys can make that out. Dean at 15. Let's get this thing boogieing on the timer. It is straight. It's not all twisted up. No big dents or dings. It was used. It does have screw marks. It's just, if you guys can kind of see it, it hasn't really taken the paint out. It just kind of, I don't know, lifted the paint a little bit. I don't know. Leo at 25 on the 388 1967 RP Republic County. I believe it is. Alex at 25. I had Leo at 25 first. Alex at 28. Playing in Wisconsin. I'm from 64 and wish he looked that good. I know that, yeah, we all feel that way. Leo at 30. As we come up on the 1 minute mark. More hearts. Love the hearts. 1 minute has now passed. Leo at 30 as we pass the 1 minute mark. Coming up on the minute 30. Everybody got real quiet. We're going to see what happens here in about 30 seconds. Pontiac Judge 35 as we hit the minute 30 mark. 1 minute 30 seconds has passed. Pontiac GTO Judge at 35 on the 67 plate. Martin at 15. That must have been one that was hung up in there for a while. Leo at 36. Travis at 37 as this thing's ticking away and getting down to the wire. We've got a few seconds left. Travis at 37. Alex here on Facebook. Travis at 37. We're getting ready to wind this one down with a few seconds left. And that does it. Travis at 37. GTO Judge came back at 40 just a little bit later. Travis at 37. All right. We're having fun tonight, guys. Let's get some more cool stuff going. Yep, you were close, Judge. Just a little bit late. But something we all love. We've done some comparable, some similar to this one in the past, but it's been a while. Plus, I found a bunch more of these, so we're going to have some more of these getting mixed back in of the awesome, super cool early grease caps. This one, a Dodge Brothers. I think we've done some kind of comparable to this. I don't know if we've done this exact one, but these things are great. This is all stamped in here. These actually were a hex head. They were meant to be unscrewed. They did have threads on the inside of them. Let's see. Leo at 15. Tweedledee at 20. This one's whammoed pretty good over here. But the cool part about it, the Dodge Brothers, the DB is still all very clear. This one's about 2 inches tall by about 2 and 5/8 in diameter, about 2 inches tall. Alex at 35 on the Dodge Brothers. Let's get this thing rolling. Like I said, does have some good whammies in it. Alec at 23, but I've already got Alex at 35 on YouTube. Nut Farm at 40, the DB, the Dodge Brothers, the money shots, the important part. If we look in the backside, if you guys can tell this, you can see where this is actually stamped into the metal on these. Nut Farm at 40, Travis at 45 on the Dodge Brothers grease cap. Hey, Kat, you're not making this easy to set things up when you're sitting in the way. The Nut Farm at 50. Click broke. That happens sometimes, Leo. One minute has now passed. Rich, remember those in his grandfather's Overland. Oh, stay tuned. I don't have one in tonight, but I did find one today. It's not on tonight's docket, but I did find one for an Overland. And this I just got a box of these at that last auction that I posted. So. And there is 1 minute, 30 seconds. Nut Farm at 50. Norma's not on tonight and Mark's not on tonight, either one. So Randall may have hit the knockout punch there at 50 with the Nut Farm. We're coming down to the last few seconds, coming down to the wire. And that does it. Oh, Alex at 52. Alex at 52, but I think it was 201. So Nut Farm at 50. Alex was like that. Nut Farm came back at 55, so he's seen it at the last second. But Nut Farm at 50 is what I had at 200. Alex, you need to shoot about 1.5 seconds quicker and you from where you were, and you will get it every time. Let's go back to another can. This can's a little bit rough, but it has great colors, and that's what we like. On this Champlin Deluxe Quart. Regular, typical 1-quart round, all metal can. Definitely has some discoloration in the gold, but it's got the big white rocket, the big bold blue Champlin, the Deluxe in red. Like I said, just a little rough on the gold. It has been punched on the top. It did say Champlin Deluxe on the top as well. The bottom of this is actually rusted out. But when you sit it on the shelf, you can't see that anyway. The backside is the same, but just a little bit rougher. I've got Alec at 15 on Facebook kicking us off on the Champlin Deluxe can. So not perfect, but nice bright colors. Still looks good. And let's get rolling on the Champlin Deluxe. We can see the seam over here where this was pressed together. Champlin Oil and Refining Company, Enid, Oklahoma, over here on the side. Leo at 20. Alex ordered a Duesenberg book. Awesome. So, and he's smiling now. Champlin, a family or a town name? I'm not sure. I don't know a lot about them. I don't have a lot of Champlin stuff. I just know this is a pretty sharp can. I've got some other cans. This is a corrugated or like a ribbed can as well. I forgot to talk about that too. Leo at 20. So Alex has him a Duesenberg book on the way. That's awesome. Excited for you. You guys are going to enjoy those. Anybody that decides to pick those up. So that's another good point. Big job. Y'all get a little rusty on the bottom. I know I felt real rusty working on that cab over last week, crawling out from underneath that thing when I was cutting the bed loose on it. And there's the 1 minute mark. Planet Wisconsin only uses Deluxe. No, the Doozy book is not a coloring book. It's a little fancier than that for sure. Leo at 20. The email came back, okay? And there's the minute 30 mark. Leo at 20. That's fine, Carl Discover. Just hang out with us. So you emailed that email and it came back, Alex. I'm not sure if Angelo's still on with us or not. But if that email bounced back, then we need to know that for sure. Just about down to the wire. Leo at 20. And that does it. Leo at 20. No, I've not seen American Rod Shop. Rich ordered one from the website. Okay, so maybe that's what. I don't know if Angelo's still on or not. If the email came back as a bad address. So if you're still on, Angelo, let us know. If not, I'm going to send him a text here in a minute. There it is real quick again. I still got it laying here. Leo on the Champlin can at 20. Let's move on to something else. We've done a few of these in the past, and I've had some of these laid out, and I keep forgetting to get them worked in, so I definitely want to do a batch of these tonight. On the old school full-color showroom sales brochures. And these are a little bit, this one's definitely different. I hope you guys are going to like them. This is a Rambler bundle. Rambler brochure bundle. The 1964 Ambassador V8, Classic and 6er V8, and the American. These would have been in the dealership showroom in 1964. We're going to take a quick look at them, check out the options on the back, but I think this one folds open. Let's see what it looks like. Check this out. Kenosha Cadillacs. That's right, Planet Wisconsin. So you're going to get that one. All these other cool pictures in it. Leo at 20. Let's fold this one back up. And then let's take a look at the next one. The 1964 Rambler station wagons. And this one folds out as well. We'll look at these real quick. I don't want to take a ton of time on them, but I do want to show you guys what we're talking about because these are neat. Vice Grip Garage Fan here in Eastern PA. Anybody collect hubcaps? I have a bunch my dad bought at a sale years ago. I want someone to appreciate. Possibly. Always have to see if we got anybody in your area. Check out the Rambler wagons. And one more. This is a three-piece bundle. The next one is one of three Sensible Spectacular, the Compact Economy King, the 1965 Rambler American. You know, these were showroom pieces. They have great color, great pictures. So let's get these rolling. Leo at 20. You're getting all three Rambler brochures on this deal. Both 64s and the 65, all three brochures. I've got Leo kicking us off at 20. Dennis at 25. All three of them, one-shot deal. It's so cool to look back at how they did advertising back then. The pictures, obviously, they were trying to make sure their cars look good, showing off the accessories, showing off people using them. Plus, there's a station wagon brochure, which is always a win in my book if there's wagons involved. Leo at 27. Yep, it is a media bundle. You want a fridge run? Then you need a Hudson badge, Kenny. As we pass the 1 minute mark, I've got Leo at 27. Dennis at 32. Planet Wisconsin has a good video of the museum in Kenosha. Lots on AMC and Rambler. Check that out on Planet Wisconsin's channel. There's the minute 30 mark. Dennis at 32 as we hit the minute 30 mark. Sounds awesome, Planet Wisconsin. Hopefully everybody checks that out. We're ticking down to the wire. I've got Dennis at 32. Leo at 33. We've got a few seconds left. Leo at 33, which is a few seconds left. Kenny at 34. And that does it. Kenny at 34. I know Kenny appreciates these brochures because they are cool. Okay, next is something a little bit different. I'm going to see what you guys think of this. Something a little bit different. We haven't done one of these before, anything like it, but I ended up with some of them at an auction here recently. They're all different. Kenny is a 64 model. Silas has a good video of the museum and the stuff they were auctioning. Is it the, oh, that was Silas did some videos at Pioneer Village, which is where I do a lot of videos and do a lot of and I do a lot of work with them as well. That's what we're doing the car fundraiser for. Is Pioneer Village, Rich. I think because Silas did some stuff there. They were on the stuff they were auctioning. I bought some stuff at the auction and did a video of some stuff they're getting ready to auction. So Gary's here with us on Facebook as well. Judge, there was 6 of us kids. I rode in the back window of a Rambler because it was the only spot left. Okay, Rich. Yeah, I've got a lot of stuff on my channel from Pioneer Village. Add. Okay. And if you didn't catch it earlier, Rich, Pioneer Village is actually kicking off a program to sponsor their vehicles. We've been raising money. We've got they're doing $100 a car. As of right now, the nobodies are going to do 3 cars, plus Leo sent extra money to do one just for his dad. So I do a lot of work with Pioneer Village, Rich. So be sure to check that out. And if you want to contribute to the sponsor of the car fund, let me know. And we're going to go up there here in a few weeks and do some more content on that. This next piece we're going to sell, like I said, I bought some different stuff, like the little toolbox we did last week. This kind of is some of that type of stuff, early stuff. We got another toolbox in. Nope, not an SSJ book. Henry J. Allstate, and what's the third car? I'm not sure. But this is something kind of different. It's early. It's definitely well over 100 years old. I don't know what it's good for. Well, I know what it's good for because it says what size it is, but well, no, that can't be right either. Champlin Oil Company is owned by Herbert Champlin from 1886 to 1944. Family kept it going till 54, then sold it to a Chicago company. There we go. Kevin L. got it for us. Zach is here. Whiskey Business is on. So this is kind of different. You guys tell me what you think. Maybe we don't. You guys may not even bid on it. But this is a big, heavy wrench from the Indiana Silo Company. Now, this is back when a lot of equipment came with specialized wrenches for that particular piece. This is heavy cast piece. The Indiana Silo Company is cast right into this thing. So I've got some various ones of these. If you guys are interested in them, we'll keep working a few in here and there. I don't have a clue. I don't know if they're worth $2 or $200. Alex, it started us off at 10. Alex likes it. It says 5/8 right here, but that's obviously bigger than 5/8. Travis at 15. Leo at 15. Yeah, no kidding. It's an actual wrench. Yeah, GOB's liking it. Like I said, I don't know. I'll keep X-ray at 17. So I'll keep one jar. No, we sold the jar of matchbooks already, Gary. So you might need to refresh and get caught back up. We'll kick this on the timer. Travis at 20. Let me show you how big this thing is. Almost 11 inches tip to tip. It's a weird distributor. Look how thick it is. 5/8 was bigger back then. Good point, Planet Wisconsin. So, like I said, I've got some of these. I don't know what this, I mean, they're old, but like I said, I don't know how much they're worth. I know they're cool. I know they're stout. Sure, you can still use it. They're right, 73 Buick, man. That is one thing I am sure, it was not made in China. Gary at 31 on Facebook. Gary at 31 on Facebook. Alex at 22. I've got Gary at 31 though. It's steel. No doubt about that. Gary at 31 on Facebook. If we're on the wrench, Gary, make sure you're caught up because with matchbooks, the jar was a long time ago. 1 minute has passed. Gary at 31 on Facebook. Yeah, this thing is, you won't want to get hit in the head with it. That's for sure. Travis at 32. I don't know what the jaw size is. Let's measure it real quick. See what it actually shows. There's the minute 30 mark. About 1 1/4 inches. 1 1/4 inches on both sides. Travis at 32. We're coming down to the wire on this one. Craftsman's prototype, yep. Few seconds left. Travis at 32 on the Indiana Silo Company wrench. And that does it. Travis at 32. Thunk. All right, what's next? Hey, we haven't done a license plate in a little bit. Let's do another license plate. This one's a little bit rougher, but still original paint, good patina, and very legible. That's what's important. A little bit different on the size on this one as well. On this 1947 Kansas truck plate, Leo's already at 10. If it's a license plate, Leo's good at 10. And you're perfectly good at 10 on this one because it's a good-looking plate. Kind of an off-white with black letters. We can see the black letters are thin, but all still readable. 1947 Kansas. The T stood for truck. The 73 was for the county. And then 1307. So Alex wants some badges. We do have a few things coming up, Alex. Martin at 11. So we got a couple things coming up. Most of the enamel badges I've got saved for next week, Alec. Alec at 15 on the license plate. This one is a little bit bigger, a little longer than these normal ones. 13 3/8 by 5 3/8. So 13 3/8 by 5 3/8. The back is original paint as well. It's not all twisted up or beat up or banged up. And I got Alec at 15, and we are live and on the timer. So I've got 3 or 4 or 5 enamel badges in for next week, Alec, for the big auction. Leo at 16. Alex at 22. Leo at 25. I have not talked to Norma in a while. She jumps on a few Toy Tuesdays occasionally, but we have not seen her on here in a while. And there's the 1 minute mark. 1 minute has passed. I've got Leo at 25. Coming up on the minute 30 mark. Lots of hearts, lots of fireworks. Appreciate that, guys. There's the minute 30 mark. Leo at 25 is our high bidder. Let's see what's going to happen here at the end on the 1947 truck license plate. Coming out of the wire on this one, Leo at 25. Is anybody going to sneak in at the end? And that'll do it. Leo at 25. About time for a Hudson badge for sure. Now, last week we did a little John Deere toolbox. And like I said, I got a couple handfuls of those. This one I don't know much about, but it's really cool. It's really early. It's the same type of a thing. Great little knick-knack tray or whatever. This one says, and this is stamped in the metal, the EB line. Travis at 15. These were like on the EB line. I'm not sure what it is. I wonder if this came off of like an implement or something. It obviously was bolted on the bottom. You couldn't put water in it or anything, but it would be a great little knick-knack tray. Obviously has some pretty good age to it, but still in pretty decent shape. This is all embossed. You can look inside the tray, see how this was all stamped in here. Let me give you some dimensions on it. And it's 11.25 by 4 on the EB line little toolbox. Travis at 15, so I'm sure it is 100 years old. Yeah. Yeah, Tractor Mike would probably know. We'll find out next week if he's planning on being here next week. So Travis at 15, we got this thing on the timer. We are boogieing. Alex at 20. Travis at 22. Dennis at 30. Yep, put some magnets in it, use it for a bolt pan. Weston's here with us. Emerson Branton is what it stands for. Weston checked it out for us. Emerson Branton is apparently what EB stood for. Did it show what they made? And there's the 1 minute mark. 1 minute has passed. I've got Dennis at 30. Travis at 32. And there's the 1 minute 30 mark. 1:30 is gone. 30 seconds left. Travis had 32 on the EB line toolbox. Old school, actual metal deal. Dennis at 36. Just about ready to wrap this one up down to the last few seconds. Leo at 37. And that does it. Leo at 37. And thanks for checking that out, Weston. That's going to help us out here in a few minutes, actually. I had something I wasn't sure about, but you just clarified it. So let's do something else kind of fun. Another standard jar. This one was for brushes. The standard is also cast into the glass on this one. Still has the original label in it, or on it. In good shape with the original lid. What's stuffed in this one? Who knows? Sell a toy. We do have a toy coming up here pretty quick, Weston. So another standard jar. There's something in it. It's a surprise. It's nothing super high dollar, so don't think it's a $100 piece, but it's something kind of cool. Leo at 10. Tweedledee at 10. Michael Glagola said Emerson Branton made industrial products. So let's see. Dean at 25. Alan at 20. Dean at 25. Alec at 15 over here. Lots of bids, but Dean at 25 is our high bidder out of all those bids coming in. They were, who knows, whatever part number R52 was. That's a surprise. It's not brushes, I can tell you that. But it's not $100 piece in there either, so don't get too excited. It's a jar and a couple of other little cool pieces. So hair brushes, yep. Dean at 25. Alec at 30 on Facebook. As we're coming up on the 1 minute mark, I've got Alec at 30. And there it is. 1 minute has passed. 1 minute left to go. Everybody got real quiet. So I don't know what's going to happen. But I do know one thing. I know that we're going to know what's going to happen here in 30 seconds because there's the minute 30 mark. We're coming out of the wire on this one. I've got Alec at 30 on Facebook. We're taking away. We got a few seconds left to go. I've got Alec at 30. I've got Rich at 33. With just a few seconds left. Anybody else going to sneak in? Rich at 33. Leo at 34. And that does it. Leo at 34. Leo has his timing on tonight. All right. Weston wants to do a toy tonight. We're going to do a toy next. That's what we've got next on the docket. And we've got some great toys for next week. We do have some great toys for next week already loaded up. So this one, I'm thinking this is probably late 60s, maybe 70s. Sure, it's in the 70s, but it could possibly go back to late 60s. It is a Hubley made in Lancaster, PA. Made in the USA, so it's got to be somewhat old for a toy to be made in the USA. I'm thinking based on the way it looks, it's a metal body with a plastic interior and frame. That's why I'm thinking 70s, maybe late 60s on this cute little purple Jeep. The purple is metal. The white is obviously plastic. Has kind of a roll bar clear at the back. It does actually, I don't know if you guys can see it or not in here, say Hubley, Lancaster, PA right down here. It does have all the original tires and wheels on it. The front bumper's not broke off. Windshield frame's not broke off. Leo at 10 kicking us off. Let me give you some dimensions on this thing so you know what we're talking about. It's about 7 inches all the way out to the front bumper. Dean at 13. Yeah, it does kind of almost look like Tonka toys at the time. So about 7 inches all the way out to there. And about 2 3/4 across the body. So I've got Dean at 13, cute little toy, in good shape to not have any of this plastic busted up or missing. Fresh out of the auction, just got it dug out. Let's get this thing on the timer. I've got Dean at 13. Oh, beach top. That's right. That would make more sense. The beach top is missing. So it had some sort of a beach top, probably a piece of fabric up there. So good call, old fart. I didn't even think about that. Yes, the windshield frame is plastic and folds down. Leo is ready to go on this one. Dean at 13. Yeah, I don't think 13 will buy this. This is a pretty nice little toy. Or maybe it will. We're all just sitting there. That or everybody's waiting to the end. But it is in good shape. So let's see what happens. Dan at 20. As we're coming up on the 1 minute mark. 1 minute has passed. Dan at 20 on the cute little purple Jeep. Johnny Z at 25. Oh, Kyle said it actually had a surfboard on top of it. 25 with Johnny Z as we're coming down to the wire. We got almost to that minute 30 mark. We're getting on the backside of this deal. There's 1 minute, 30 seconds, 30 seconds left to go. Johnny Z at 25. Great little toy. Let's see what happens. Coming down to the end, I've got Johnny Z at 25, keeping a close eye out for bids on this one. And that did it. Leo came in at 26 at 201. But Johnny Z at 25 is who I had at the 200 mark. That one Leo missed by a second. Dan at 27. I didn't think we were done, but they were too late. Johnny Z at 25. Zach at 28. There were 3 of them in there ready to shoot. They started coming in at 201. That was Johnny Z was lucky on that one. Okay, what do we got next? Ooh, this is cool. Alec wanted a cool badge. This is cool. This is a duplicate, or I would never sell this because it is that cool. It is plastic, but it's early. It's late 40s, early 50s era plastic. I love these things. We've done some of them before. Dean at 11. Zach's got a serious delay tonight. So, well, I hope you got it figured out. This is cool. We've done some metal ones of these before. We've never done the horn button. I really like this one. Like I said, I would never sell it if it wasn't a duplicate on the Kaiser horn button badge. Check this thing out. I love these. Obviously got the buffalo on it, the big K against the green background. Leo at 12. This is all cast into the plastic in the backside. Zach at 14. It's a great looking piece. Do not have the horn ring or the ring that goes around it, but still a good looking piece. 3 5/8 in diameter on this one. Lots of bids coming in. Tweedledee at 20 is my high bidder at this point. Has a slight curvature to it. Alec at 30 on Facebook. So Alec at 30 is my high bidder. Sharp piece. Looks good for its age. Let's get this thing boogieing on the timer. Big Job is calling it right now that this is a sniper deal. Leo at 31. Alec at 30 was at 30. I've got Leo at 31 now on YouTube. Alex at 45. Leo is reloading. After that misfire last time, that's bad news for everybody else. Alec at 55 on Facebook. Yeah, Alex came out with the big guns and he already got outbid because Alec on Facebook. So, well, we're going to find out in 1 minute because we just hit the 1 minute mark. 1 minute is gone. We got 1 minute left. I've got Alec at 55 on Facebook. Hey, Denny. Denny's with us on Facebook as well. Got to keep a close eye out on this one. Leo at 56. And there is the minute 30 mark. 1 minute, 30 seconds has passed. We've got 30 seconds left to go. Leo at 56. Alex at 60. We're ticking away on this one, and we're getting close to the end. I've got Alex at 60, and we're down to the last few seconds. What's going to happen? Alec at 61 on Facebook. I've got Alec at 61. A couple seconds left. And that does it. Alec at 61 on Facebook. Well, that one was fun. All right. Let's do another can. This is a good looking can as well. 60s era, I'm thinking. Let's see if it says anything on here. All right. This is a Co-op T200 motor oil can. This is a new one. I drained it from the bottom, but a great looking can. The gold squared background, obviously the red, white, and blue Co-op insignia. I drained it from the bottom, so the top is all still intact. Leo's starting us off at 10. This is a metal quart. I'm guessing probably 60s. Has information on the back. Manufactured in the world's only cooperative-owned lubricating oil refinery by Farmland Industries, Kansas City, Missouri. Ads. Okay, we got ads. Let's hold up. Okay. Okay, looks like we're back. Okay, we're back. On the co-op can, we see the seam over here where it was metal. It's got a little dingy down here in the bottom, but a couple holes where I drained it from the bottom. I've got, let's see, Leo started this at 10 on the co-op quart. Two for ad. Okay, but everybody's back. Okay, so hopefully everybody's back. We're live on the timer. Leo at 10 on the co-op can. This was new until I just drained it, but nice bright colors, and that's what we're like. Maybe Alex or maybe Leo's the only one that likes it. I thought it was a cool can, but next oil change asking for T200. X-ray at 11. 1 minute has passed. 1 minute is gone. We're on the back side of this one. Leo at 12. Dennis at 15. Leo at 16. Dennis at 20. Just past the minute 30 mark. Dennis at 20. Leo 21. Dennis at 23. Just a few seconds left. And that does it. Dennis at 23, Leo at 24, Pete at 25, at 201 and 202. But Dennis at 23 is who we had at the end. Old School made it. Haven't seen Old School around in a bit. Glad you stopped by tonight. I don't think you were on earlier tonight, have you? I think this is the first time you jumped on with us this evening. Dennis at 23. Well, we're glad you stopped by, Old School. All right, let's do a badge bundle. We haven't done a good badge bundle in a little bit. Let's do one of these. These are pretty cool. For our Mercury friends. Anybody like Mercuries? We'll start off with kind of a normal Mercury badge. The Monterey, this is 70s era. Leo at 10. Metal, flat, stud mount, chrome-plated pot metal on the Monterey badge. You lost weight? No, I don't think I lost weight. The Monterey is about 7.5. X-Ray Dean at 12. The next one, this is a mid-60s era Mercury badge with the Mercury Man on it. This is an aluminum badge. It was also stud mount, probably like off of a trunk lid. Had the Mercury Man with some diamonds below it. It is an 1.125 by 1 3/8 inches. Cool piece. So this is all cast into the aluminum. You can see on the back side where you can see where this is all actually cast into this piece. And one more. This is really cool. I'm not sure. I think it was a dash emblem. Alec at 15. On this little round with a red plastic insert. It's got the Mercury Man, kind of the Mercury Man head. kind of a rough Mercury Man head with a gold M, red background, black and silver around the outside perimeter. This is a plastic insert and a pop metal chrome bezel. Alex at 25. You're getting all three of them. The diameter on this little round one, 2 1/8. So you're getting all of them together. Alex at 25. Yes, Derek stopped by a couple weeks ago, old school. All three Mercury badges. Alex at 25. You're getting the whole badge bundle, one-shot deal. Alex at 25. We are live and on the timer. Alex at 25. All three of them, one-shot deal on the Mercury badge bundle. Coming up on the 1 minute mark. And 1 minute is now passed. Alex at 25. All three of them, one-shot deal. Somebody's getting ready for the sniper shot. Yep, you never know, big job. But I do know that we're going to find out here pretty quickly because we're coming up on that minute 30 mark. And there we go. 1 minute, 30 seconds. 30 seconds left to go. Alex at 25 on the whole mess. All three Mercury badges, one-shot deal. Alex at 25. Coming out of the wire, was going to be a sniper shot. Matt at 27. We got a few seconds left. I've got Matt at 27. Alex at 28 at the 200 mark. Alex at 28. He barely got that one in, but he got it in. It was still 200 when I saw Alex's 28 pop up. I thought Matt had that locked up, and Alex barely snuck that in. Whoa, come back here. This thing ain't cooperating. I want to keep these things all together as much as I can so nothing gets lost in the shuffle. All right, close enough. Okay, that's right, old school. We talked about this auction thing a long time ago. I had the idea. I'd been thinking about it, and you were one of the people you said you should go ahead and try it. I didn't think we had enough people to do it. You said go ahead and try it, so I tried it, and you were right. We had enough people to do it. I've been rolling around in my head. I've been wrestling with the idea of the auction, and you nudged me along and said try it, and so we did, and it's worked. So the next piece, super cool. Really excited about this. I hope you guys like it as well, even though it's a little bit rough. But we're going to do another grease cap. We haven't done a grease cap in a little bit. We did one a little bit earlier. This one actually has a hole knocked in it, but the badge area looks good, and that's what's important on this really cool Nash grease cap. Now, obviously, this hole is not supposed to be there. But this part looks great, which is the important part. Bring on the sob stuff. I don't have any sob stuff, so. Patina, yep. This is all cast into here. The ridges around here. It was threaded on the inside. It's also got some damage over here on this side as well. That's right. Better than eBay. No fees. That's for sure. It is 3 1/8 and 1 5/8 inches. So about just a little over 3 inches in diameter. Alex at 20, Leo at 15, Nut Farm at 30. These nubs here. I don't think Jess is on tonight. I can ship to Canada, but you have to pay the shipping on it because of what it costs. So this is obviously not hexagonal like a lot of them. So I think these nubs here were for a special wrench on the Nash. Let's get this thing rolling. Nut Farm at 30. Like I said, the cool part that we want to see here still looks good. So that's the important part when we're displaying these things. Leo at 31. Yep, spanner wrench. That's exactly the word I'm looking for. As we're coming up on the 1 minute mark, I've got Leo at 31. And there's 1 minute. 1 minute has now passed. Leo at 31 as we're coming up towards that minute 30 mark. Too bad this is whammoed, but at least the important part still looks good. And there's the minute 30 mark. Out Leo at 31, 30 seconds left to go. Let's see what happens on this killer Nash grease cap. Coming out of the wire, a few seconds left. Leo at 31, Nut Farm at 35. And that does it. Nut Farm at 35 on the Nash cap. All right. Cool piece. What else we got? Oh, more plates. Not all the time, no, because I've got it right here in front of me. I just keep it right there. So that's really the only way to do it unless I put some big screen up. That's why I just try to keep you guys in the loop as far as what's going on with it. But we've been selling a bunch of these weird Nebraska plates. I got a whole box of. I'm getting through them. We've got about 6 or 8 left to do. So we're going to do a pair of these tonight. Leo's at 10. He heard more plates. He's at 10. These are the little, we've done a few of these. I don't know if they're trailer plates or boat plates or motorcycle plates or what are they or what they are. They're brand new. They're kind of cool. They're small. They're metal. They're stamped metal. It's a 9 by 3 1/4 on this X4961. But wait, there's more because we've also got 4962 to go with it. These are both brand new stamped metal plates from Nebraska. So like I said, I've got 6 or 8 more various ones of these. We've got dealer plates, tax exempt plates, just all kinds of them. But they're brand new and they're old actual stamped metal. Leo at 10 on the pair. Let's get this thing going. You're getting both shipped to you for one bid. Leo at 10. All right, we're ticking along, and it looks like Leo's our only player on these tonight. We'll see what happens. We got a few more things to go yet tonight before we wrap up tonight's auction. X-ray at 12. Just past the 1 minute mark, X-ray at 12 on the pair. Minute 30, 1 minute, 30 seconds left. Or 1 minute, 30 seconds past, 30 seconds left. Big job. Asked my son-in-law if he'd pull me over that plate, and he laughed because he wouldn't even know what it was. Tweedledee at 20. Rich at 13. I got Tweedledee at 20, though. We got a few seconds left, but we're getting down to the end. See if Rich is going to take another shot. Tweedledee at 20. Big job at 22. Leo at 21. Tweedledee at 23, and that does it. Tweedledee at 23. Everybody waited to the end of that one. All right, we got a few more things to do yet tonight before we get into the magazine. One more batch of maps and a couple of other cool things. Western Central United States, Phillips 66. Missouri, Phillips 66. As well as Arkansas, Phillips 66. Yes, it's a trifecta of 60s era Phillips maps. Leo at 10. Yeah, Tweedledee, you did have to be fast. Leo at 10. The back of two of these have Phillips credit cards on them. 73 Buick, man's got to jump off. Glad you're here tonight. Hope to see you next week. The other one actually has Phillips dealers are helpful, friendly, and courteous on the back. X-ray at 12. Two of these are, I'm not sure what they have on the sign here. I don't know if it's like the highway going through them. And the third one has a picture of the station. Got to be 60s era on that. Dean at 12. And let's get this thing rolling on the Phillips maps. Kind of a cool set of similar type 60s era Phillips maps from the Midwest. Spaceship landing on the roof of that station. Yeah, that could be very well. It might be what it is. Brian Dispatch is here. Coming up on the 1 minute mark, Dean at 12. And there's 1 minute. 1 minute has passed. And coming up on the minute 30 mark, Leo at 23. And 1 minute, 30 seconds has passed. 30 seconds left to go. Leo at 23. Coming out of the wire, last few seconds, Leo at 23 on all three maps. And that does it. Leo at 23. All right, a couple more cool pieces to wrap tonight up before we get into the magazine. We all love these. And I got a box of various ones. I'm keeping some. I'm going to sell some. On the tire ashtrays. How about this one? Goodyear tires, tractor type tire, or mud type tire. On the Goodyear tire ashtray. This is the Goodyear is actually stamped or cast into the glass. The little slots where you'd sit your cigarettes at. Leo at 10. The ashtray actually would pop out. Dean at 25. Does say Goodyear on the tire. So these are kind of cool. Leo at 26. Let's get this thing rolling on the timer. The diameter on this one, the overall diameter is 4.5 outside to outside. Goodyear tires on the old school tire ashtray. And we're ticking away on this thing, the Nut Farm at 27. Leo at 28. Alex at 30. Dean at 32. Leo at 31, but I've already got Dean at 32. Nut Farm at 35. Just takes care of all of it. Judge might start smoking if he had one of those. 1 minute has passed. Leo, 36. We're on the back side of this. Down to the last minute. One more piece after this. Definitely a snipe item. There's been a lot of activity. We'll see what's going to happen. And 1 minute, 30 seconds has passed. 30 seconds left to go. Nut Farm at 40. Michael at 38 on Facebook. At the same time, I got Nut Farm at 40. Nut Farm at 40 is my high bid. We got a little bit of time left, but we're coming down to the end on this one. Down to the last few seconds. Kenny at 45. Leo at 41. Kenny at 45 was my high bidder at the end. Kenny at 45. Cool piece. And one more piece. Let's catch one more piece, and then we're going to get into the magazine and keep rolling so we don't run out of time tonight. One more piece to do. I didn't forget to do a hubcap tonight, guys. We do have one hubcap to catch, and it's a cool one. Going back into, I believe, the late 30s era. You might want to put your sunglasses on. It's going to get a little bit bright. Dean's already in at 10 when he heard hubcap on this super cool early Dodge cap. Check this thing out. Leo 15. Got some dings and dents in here. The Dodge is kind of, swells out to the middle, comes down to a point on the ends. Back of it is a metal cap with a chrome cap over the top of the metal structure. It is 8 3/8 in diameter. Nut Farm at 50. Alex at 20. We've got an ad. Alec at 20. We've got ads, so we're going to stop right now. I have not hit the timer, so we'll start the timer after the ad. Big Job is back. Okay. Leo's got ads. Back. Okay, we're on the timer. I just started it. Nut Farm at 50 on the Dodge cap. Nut Farm went for the knockout blow right out of the gate on this one. So we'll see what happens. We got a lot of time left. And after Nut Farm's statement piece, though, or statement shot, Leo just recocked those. So we'll see what's going to happen. Last piece of the night, then we're going to get into the magazine. There's some amazing ads in the magazine, so. One minute has passed. 1 minute left. Nut Farm at 50. Get this up square up here front and center where you guys can get a better look at it. I think it's late 30s, Dean. Bloodshed. Minute 30 is gone. 1 minute, 30 seconds gone, 30 seconds left. Tweet that he got his magazine from eBay. There's some cool stuff in it. We're coming down to the end. Nut Farm at 50. Anybody going to take a shot? Or did Nut Farm make a statement? Leo, 51. Last few seconds, Nut Farm at 55, and that does it. Nut Farm slid that one in at about 158 and some change. Nut Farm at 55. Good shooting on the end of that one. All right. A lot of fun in the auctions tonight, guys. Had a blast. Thanks to everybody that played along. Congratulations to all the winners. Got any questions? Tomorrow, just give me a shout and we will get her all taken care of. Yeah, it is a great cap. So, yeah, Rich, I will absolutely get all that stuff ready to go to you. So, congratulations on your first win tonight, Rich, and we'll get that stuff out to you. Yeah, game over, says the Nut Farm. That's true. So, anyway, had a lot of fun tonight. Let's get into the magazine so we don't get running too late. We did start on time tonight, Brian. We just got a little behind. We had a lot of stuff to talk about with the book, having the author on tonight and things like that. So, we all need an Auburn badge after that deal. I know that. Well, what the heck? We both need a Hudson and an Auburn badge after that. But we definitely want to keep moving because the articles are okay. We've got some articles we want to check out, but the ads tonight are amazing. So, sounds good, Leo. Appreciate that. Extra 18's peeking through. But let's get into the back half of the October 1967 issue of Hot Rod Magazine, introducing the new 1968s. We saw some cool stuff in here last week, and we got some really cool stuff coming up this week as well. In fact, heavier on the ads than the articles, but there's a reason for that. When you guys start seeing the ads, you'll know why. But let's go ahead and catch some of the articles real quick. Starting off with an article called Loaded to the Gills. This is pretty cool. This is one of the very, very early fastback Barracuda funny cars. Check this thing out. Old school chassis. I mean, this is as just about as early as it got for funny cars, especially having color pictures of this thing. Almost unheard of in 67. We've got a lot of color ads, but not a lot of color pictures in articles. I thought this thing was definitely worth checking out tonight. And unfortunately, that's about all they've got on it. It was a short article, but still some great pictures that we had to check. The next one we're going to check out, once again, back to black and white, but so cool, we had to check it out. More hearts, lots of love the hearts and the fireworks. But this thing is super cool on this 1941 Studebaker gasser, not a Willys, 41 Studebaker with a blown Hemi in it, old school gasser. Once at the time, it was a current gasser, I guess. Check this thing out, guys. Yeah, crazy. That's a good way to put it. That's for sure. Nut versus Mama's not getting much this year. This next article was another drag car that I thought was really interesting. Once again, back to black and white pictures. But this thing is pretty cool. It's a record-setting dragster, but it is very unique. That's what really caught my eye when I was flipping through here. That it's like something doesn't look right. I mean, we see a front engine digger. We're used to seeing a blown Hemi out there. Even if it's old school, 354, 392, you want to see a big blown Hemi in that digger. But this one, I'll show you a picture of the exhaust to start with. Check out the exhaust. Obviously not a big blown Hemi in this one. Nope. This is a record-setting 6-cylinder Chevy. A 310 6-cylinder Chevy in this front engine digger. Back then, they kind of did whatever, different classes, different experimentation, different guys trying different ideas. That's what made it cool. We don't see as much of that anymore. But I thought that one was definitely working out, worth looking at. This next article I wanted to check out real quick. Speaking of gas mileage, Planet Wisconsin, this was really different. Is that weekend gear ratio giving you the high revving blues between Sunday? Try this for 7-day happiness. Obviously, you got a set of low gears for racing on the weekends, but you're driving the car all week. Makes it a little tough during the weekend. Very, very good for gas mileage. This was actually an aftermarket overdrive unit. And the picture they're kind of focusing on was for the Ford. Now, obviously, we could get into the technical aspects of this article and be here the rest of the night, which we don't want to do that. We want to get through the rest of the magazine. But especially considering we got classifieds tonight. Check this picture out. For the Fords, their overdrive unit bolted to the front of the rear axle. Now, this company did make transmission-mounted ones as well, but the ones for the Fords actually bolted to the rear axle. Let's see, what was the name of this company? I read through some of this last night. Hone Manufacturing Company in Santa Fe Springs, California. They call it the Hono Drive. They are all self-contained units of overdrives from the Hone Manufacturing Company in Santa Fe Springs, California. So there again, something kind of different. Manually activated overdrive units. Obviously never really took off. But there again, different technology, different ideas, different experimentation. That's right, doing what the factory wasn't doing at that time. And that's what was so different about that time. We've seen, a lot of times guys would do this stuff on their own. And, a lot of those days are gone. So it's kind of cool to be able to go back, look, the Hone Manufacturing Company. I've never heard of them before. So obviously they either got bought out, or merged with somebody else or something. But, or maybe they just went out of business. Maybe the overdrive unit market wasn't there yet. So that's why it's a lot harder today for sure. So something kind of different, a technical type thing, but I thought you guys might enjoy it, especially the overdrive unit on the front of the rear axle assembly. One more kind of tech article that I want to catch before we get into ads. There's a lot more pages to the magazine, but the reason I didn't get into this back part of the magazine is a lot of this stuff is, finishing up articles from the front part of the magazine, not much in them. So, but this next one is also a tech article. Memo to Mustangers. Performance results of 289 using Shelby dual 4-barrel high-rise manifold and the Shelby blower. Memo to Mustangers. Check that out. Check this out. Woo, where'd that come from? So this was about ordering aftermarket parts from Shelby. Brian Dispatch froze up. Is anybody else freezing up, or are we all still good everywhere else? Ordering aftermarket performance parts from Shelby, putting them on your Mustang, and seeing what happened. As I skimmed through this, Twin the D says he's good. All right, thanks, appreciate that. It's kind of cool when you read through this. The induction system seemed to have just a shade too much carburation for drag racing with an automatic transmission. With a 4-speed box, the story might have been a lot different. Don't misunderstand. The dual high riser gave the 289 more oats. The chassis dyno showed 175 horses at the rear wheels when the engine was at 5,800 RPM. This is an increase of 15 horse over the rear wheels of a single 4-barrel carburetor high-rise installation. And the last half of the strip, the little engine began getting with the program of eating all that air brought in by the Hollies, but the first half of the strip found the engine just on the ragged edge of bog coming off the line. So it was kind of cool reading this, and you think about putting dual 4-barrels on a 289, you would have to have that thing singing to suck that much air through there. But, kind of cool. The Shelby Supercharger, Shelby part number MBK2368B, in case you'd like to order one, was the last stop for our guinea pig, and it went into place with a Shelby single high riser, but it can also be used with the stock Ford manifold. The Supercharger kit is a bolt-on operation as long as you have the correct bolts. There are 5 kits available, and the difference lies in the shape and size of some brackets. Enough said. Horsepower at the rear wheels was now up to a steady 200 at 6,000 RPM. Engine was easy to start and presented no problems whatsoever for street driving. At a steady 50 mile per hour, the boost gauge was showing from 1 to 1 3/4 pounds boost. By listening closely, a slight whine under the hood could be detected. Jump on the throttle, get the RPMs past 3,500. Watch the boost needle make a steady climb to 4.5 to 5 pounds. And listen to that windmill scream. $6,000 on the tack comes very, very soon for a street car of this price range. With the blower, the ET dropped to a 1417. So low 13 should be no problems at all with a 4-speed and a supercharger. Leo's got to jump off tonight. Glad you were here, Leo. Yeah, let's all go back in time and order Shelby parts. I tell you what, Planet Wisconsin, when we get to the ads tonight, everybody's going to want to wish they went back in a time machine. And because you ain't going to believe what we got in the classifieds tonight. So, but I thought those last couple tech articles were kind of interesting to get into. So let's flip back to the middle part of the magazine and start getting into some of the ads. Because the ads, like I said, just like we saw last week, the ads, we wrapped last week up with this. That was the ad we finished on last week. And that was just the beginning. So hang on to your hats, boys. Let's get into the ads. Starting off with Oldsmobile, the Facts of Life, the Tornado, the Cutlass S, and the Olds 442. Actually gives specifications. Now, this is something you don't see anymore. The actual advertisement, 2 pages. The 442, engine type, rocket V8, bore 3.87, 4.25 stroke, 400 cubic inch displacement, 10.5 to 1 compression, brake horsepower 350, 840, 800 RPM. Check this out. 2-page Oldsmobile ad. They're actually giving you bore and stroke in the specs of the ad in the magazine. When was the last time you saw that? But a great looking ad for Oldsmobile. We saw a lot of full color ads, not much full color in the magazine, but a lot in the advertisements. But there again, this is the new for 68 issue. Everybody wanted to make a big splash for their 68 models coming out. Auburn. All right. This next ad was really interesting. It's all car and less than a yard high. The Chevy Experimental Astro 1. This car I don't know anything about, but they actually put it in a full-page ad of the Chevy Astro 1. This was a Corvair-powered prototype car. Just weird they would actually put it in a full-page ad, spend the money on an ad on a car that isn't even for sale. But good idea, big job. The most expensive car, $38.95 for a year-old vet and $69. Yeah. Next ad, once again, 2-page full color for Buick this time. Yes, Buick. The new 1968 GS 400. 2 pages, good looking ad, full color. This doesn't look like your muscle car type guy, but hey, that's maybe they were going, obviously Buick being an upper scale brand, they were going for the upper scale performance buyer. It does kind of look like the old Arrow thing. Yep, that's true. Hudson badge. All right. And now we're going to get, believe it or not, it's getting even better. Yeah, they are nice. It's getting even better. One thing Dodge did in 1968 was came out with a car that here we are 50 plus years later has turned into one of the most iconic, most desirable cars ever built, really, thanks to a certain TV show with an orange one in it, thanks to a certain movie with a black one in it. But in 1968, the new Coke bottle design Charger came out. And in this multi-page ad, there are 3 quick ways to catch Dodge fever. And we're just getting started. The first way, the Charger RT, the clean machine. You're the driving expert. If you're a pro, drive like one safely with the new Charger. And this center page is loose in this magazine. So just so you see that flop there. And in the center section, the Coronet RT, the time machine. Save the competition for the track. Be a friendly driver. Dodge Scat Pack. And finally, the Dart GTS Sport, the Scat Pack Compact. And to wrap up the Dodge ad, yes, believe it or not, after all that, we're still not quite done with the new Dodge Fever ad for 1968 because we've got to get to the important stuff. The important stuff that makes what's under the hood of the Scat Pack. Here's what makes Scat Pack run. The 340 4-barrel with 275 horsepower. The 440 Magnum 4-barrel with 375 horsepower. Now, you got to remember this is late 1967. There was no six-pack car. The six-pack didn't come out till mid-year 69. So the 440 Magnum 4-barrel with 375 horsepower or the almighty 426 Hemi dual 4-barrel V8 with 425 horsepower. Yes, full color shots of the engines. So, heck of an ad for Dodge Fever. This Dart they were just talking about specifically as the 340. They didn't list the 383 in them. Yeah, of course, we're still in 67, so the Challenger was still a few years off. And Ford hadn't gotten into the act yet tonight until now, because Ford made it hard to tell at a glance which are competition cars and which are road cars. This year, Torino isn't going to make it any easier, trying to show off the graceful lines of the new fastback Torino for 68. Once again, 2-page full color ad from Ford. Now, something that I thought was a little bit interesting, and I seen these, I was skipping over these ads at first till they all kind of came in a row. And it kind of caught me off guard. So I was like, well, maybe there is something to it. Because this is Hot Rod Magazine. Now, Hot Rod was much more diversified back in the 60s than they are today. Today, if it's, you don't even hardly see a pickup in Hot Rod. It's pretty much all cars. Occasionally, you'll see a truck. But to see all these ads in a row. Okay, I just got an ad pop up. Are you guys going to get ads? I just seen an ad pop up deal on mine. Yep, there we go. All right, I'm trying to watch for them, guys. Okay, Big Job's back. These must be short 10 or 15-second ads. So, okay, we're back. So Hot Rod was much more diversified. They covered boats and go-karts and all kinds of stuff back in the day. But what I thought was different about this is all the motorcycle ads. A bold new challenge is born. The 68 Sportsters from Harley Davidson. And not only was it Harley Davidson, and these are all within a couple pages, BSA. The BSA bikes. Yep, trying to compete with Honda. That's probably a great point, Planet Wisconsin. That's probably exactly what they were trying to do. And then the next page after the BSA, Triumph. I mean, more motorcycle ads. Yeah, I'm glad you guys are agreeing with me. Thanks, Kenny. I appreciate that. Like I said, there were the articles we definitely wanted to catch, but man, the ads are just knockout in this magazine. Everybody wanted to put their best foot forward for 1968. And we've still got a few more to go. I don't think there was a Norton ad. Okay, yeah, sounds good, Big Job. There's actually a couple of Harley ads in here. The other one kind of got lost in the shuffle, but there were 2 Harley ads in this magazine. Where's that other one at real quick? Yeah, they had another one in here that we didn't catch right here. So if you want, call me or whatever, I can shoot you screenshots of them or something. Big Job. But the next ad, ride with a winner. Mighty Mopars. To racing enthusiasts, a Mopar is a pretty significant thing. Mopars have established a reputation for themselves on drag strips, the oval circuit road rallies, and countless other racing events. But what this means, this is literally Mopar parts. Mopar's aftermarket parts division that you could order parts for anything, where they actually were in the aftermarket parts business for whatever anybody wanted to buy. GM, Ford, they were carrying them all. Nut Farm's got to jump off. Glad you're here tonight, Nut Farm. Few more ads to catch yet. And this is a good one for the Dana Corporation. And not so much the fact that it's Dana Corporation, but the picture is just killer. Ford is boss at Le Mans again. For the second year in a row, the Ford GT won at Le Mans. Naturally, Ford's victory plan for this 24-hour ordeal called for the best of everything. That's why Ford specified perfect circle piston rings and perfect circle valve seats. Check out the action shot of the Ford GT. Yeah, Planet Wisconsin. It's more, like I said, these ads are just wow. Wow. That's the only, this next ad, Kendall Motor Oil. Black and white ad, a little bit of red on the Kendall balls. But they show a quart of Kendall racing oil. But the other picture is the Jack Crispin Mercury Cyclone funny car. Check that thing out. It's just one cool thing after another. So even what piston rings and motor oil and the ads are that cool. I mean, it was just wow. And this next one, the same thing. RAC Instruments. I don't know who RAC Instruments are. I've never heard of RAC gauges, but that's what they're advertising are the gauges for the company RAC. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of RAC gauges or not. But they got a picture of Gas Ronda's funny car in the ad, so I really don't care who RAC gauges are because that ad is so cool that here we are 50 plus years later saying, holy cow, that thing is awesome. All right, couple more ads, and then we're going to catch the classifieds because the classifieds, there's some other classifieds. Like I keep telling you guys, you knock your socks off. And one more ad for a company called Sparkomatic. Now, obviously, I read Sparkomatic. I thought it was radios, but it is not radios. This was suspension components, shifters, and some chassis stuff for the Sparkomatic Corporation of Milford, PA. So you think, okay, well, that's okay. That's cool. But there again, look at the pictures in this ad. Check that out. Amazing action shots, a little Rambler and a Hemi-powered Dodge. Shifters and chassis components you wouldn't think would be that cool, but that's a pretty cool ad. And one more ad that we're going to catch. At the end, on the back cover, then we're going back into the classified ads for Autolite spark plugs. Once again, they're spark plugs. Wouldn't be, could make a pretty boring ad out of that pretty easily. But the picture, they slap just a killer shot flat on the ground, looking up at the Ford GT40. When Ford built this $100,000 GT, they weren't about to scrimp on spark plugs, so they got Autolite plugs, like you buy for $1 a piece. Check that shot out of the Ford GT40. So there again, this is a spark plug ad, but it definitely caught your ad, just like the piston ring ad, just like the motor oil ads. That caught your attention. So yeah, just like I said, so I hope you guys agree with me. I hope I didn't hype the ads up too much to where you guys didn't really agree that, it wasn't that great. But I hope you guys enjoyed it and hope you guys thought that were as excited as I was about this magazine. Let's catch the classified ads. And if anybody's got a time machine, get it fired up right now. I'm just telling you, get your time machine fired up because we're getting, best ads we've ever seen. Well, that's good, Pete. Good. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. That's right, Big Job. The photographer, and that was the case in a lot of these ads, is the shots were just phenomenal. That's fine, Planet Wisconsin. You go buy all the Shelby parts you want because I'm going to the classifieds right now. We got a few of these last week, but the first classified ad for now. Let's see what else. We'll save that one for a little bit. Let's check out a couple of these other ones. We'll get this other one in a little bit. Let's see what we got. 23T show and go custom body Cobra running gear 289 dual quads 4-speed 456 gears chromed engine black tufted interior 13 coats of poppy red lacquer $2,350. You can't buy enough red paint to put 13 coats on for $2,350 today. Check out this. Let's check out this 41 Merc. There's a picture of it, so we'll see if we can kind of make it out. 1941 Merc, 58 Chrysler engine with 6 carbs, so that would have to be a 392. Chromed, engine's chromed out, interior TV, tape recorder, bar, phone. This part makes me cry. Metal flake featured in many magazines, fully enclosed trailer, constant winner. Okay, 41 Merc, 392, 6 carbs, a TV, a tape recorder, a telephone, and this is in 1967. The trailer to haul it in, $2,500. It's got a little picture of it if we can make it out. $2,500. Let's see. 1954 Corvette, original. Slight damage to the rear end. Engine and transmission just rebuilt. New upholstery. Best offer over $700. So, some cool stuff in there, but let's get to the big kahuna in tonight's classified ads. If anybody really wants to cry, well, there's one other one. 57 Thunderbird, 406 cubic inch, 405 horse, 4-speed, both tops, tonneau cover, radio, heater, $1,900 for a 57 Thunderbird. It's got to go. All offers considered. That's right. Yeah, I'm sure the phone couldn't have worked, but it had one in it. But if anybody really wants to cry, I'll wait, Big Job. We're getting there right now. And like I said, fire up the time machine if you've got it. Get it going. Go back to this ad in Los Angeles, California. Sell strong 1966 427 Cobra. Over $12,000 invested. Carter AFB, Schleifer clutch and lightweight flywheel, blow-proof bell housing, special headers, roll bar, Coney shocks, 6,000 actual miles on this 427-66 Cobra. $8,000. $8,000. 6,000 miles, 66 427 Cobra. That's it. Big Job can't take it anymore. Yep. Arc welder for $1,895. Yeah. Yeah, and you got to kind of put it into perspective. You know, obviously $8,000 in 1966 was a ridiculous amount of money. You know, I think Dad was making, $1 an hour at the gas station at that point. So, $8,000 was the moon. When you consider that, because I think Dad said back then when he was working at the gas station, there was the guy there had a 62 Corvette, and I think it was like $3,000 for a used 62 Corvette. So, I mean, $8,000 was the moon and back, but it's still crazy to see that advertised for that. Now, Wicks did say he was involved in a deal back in the mid 70s on a Project 427 Cobra that sold for like $8 or $10,000. But yeah, you're right. The X-ray, it's like two caddies, when you put it into perspective for the time. But it's crazy to go back and see that 6,000 miles, 66 427 Cobra for $8,000. Just craziness. So there we go. That wraps it up for the October 1967 issue of Hot Rod Magazine. Obviously, a lot of great comments. I think you guys really enjoyed it. I know I had a lot of fun doing this one. And there was some amazing stuff and some absolutely knockout ads in this deal. So glad you guys all had fun with that. So what else is going on? Let's get ready to wrap things up. I'm glad you guys like the magazine, obviously. What's going on this week? What's coming up in new videos? I've got to get the auction finds video up. I still got new inventory to shoot. We'll probably do some stuff at Meekum. Just a lot of stuff going on. And just so I don't know. I mean, I'm definitely going to be putting videos up, but not sure what order we'll get them in. And like I said, we'll try to do some stuff from Meekum. We'll try to do some stuff with some of you guys that are there, depending on time frame and things like that. I don't know if we'll do some lives. We may try to do 1 or 2 live feeds from Meekum. We'll see how it works out. See if some of you guys are there with us hanging out. Well, maybe some of you guys are there and want to do a live. We'll see if we can do a live. We'll just kind of play that by ear, but definitely going to be getting you some content from Meekum while we're there. So this raffle is next week, Joe's Classics. Giving these away next week. So make sure if you want to get in, you got 1 more week to jump in. And that's right, I do have your bonus one from the last week, I think, that will go in with your next shipment, Joe. So, but we'll see what happens. And like I said, I've got a busy couple of days to get things wrapped up, get ready to get headed to Meekum. Will do, Gary. Glad you were on tonight, and we need to catch up sometime. So thanks for stopping by and hanging out and saying hi. And Dad's actually on right now anyway, so so I'm sure he heard us talking, but definitely we'll say hi to him, and we'll talk here sometime in the near future, Gary. It was good to hear from you. So we'll see what's happening this week. It's going to be a fun week, and we sure hope to see some of you guys at Meekum, Kansas City. Another bonus before we sign off. What the heck, Big Job? Let's do it real quick. And then next week will be the big Christmas auction. We will talk about Meekum, and then we were going to get right into auction and stuff. So we'll see how things go. We should have a special guest next week. Let's see what we got here. Who's this? Alan. Alan Harper. Let's see what we got real quick in the bonus raffle for that. And we got this, whatever this is. I wrapped this thing up way too good. Oh, Buick badge. Buick badge in the bonus raffle for Alan the Ford guy. The Beaumont resident question, what would it take to put a 64 Chevy 283 and an 86 Regal? I don't know, because that early 283, I don't know how much differences there are between that and a later model 350 or later model small block Chevy. So I couldn't tell you for sure what that would take. So let me get Alan's name on this one. You would just have to do some checking on that, see how the motor mounts work, see if you, I'm sure there's conversion kits to put a small block into. Well, you probably get all the G-body stuff out of a Monte Carlo might work too. So, but don't know the answer to all that right off the top of my head. Tony's here. Tony got called into work. Snow coming into Ohio. You guys keep it all up there. Alan does say he likes Buicks. Okay, good. All right. So next week, big week, we will get a wrap up from Meekum. Rich, G-bodies came with all small block 305s easy and 267. So there again, Rich has some help for us on that. That's the great part about this chat. All the knowledge that gets shared amongst all of us to help us out. So perfect. Alan got his truck fixed. He'll have to make another run up. That'll be great. Oh, we got to get your name back into the big Buick oil can for next week. We don't want to get you cut you short on next week. So next week, we'll give a wrap up from Meekum. We will have company right here sitting next to me by the name of Tractor Mike. Tractor Mike does plan on sticking around after Meekum to hang out with us for next Sunday night. Glad, thanks for stopping by, Beaumont resident. Glad you're having fun with us. Tractor Mike is going to bring some goodies for the auction as well. I have a lot of cool stuff stacked up. Badges, toys, license plates, a few pieces of porcelain, some stuff that I've been on the fence about selling that we're going to throw in there with a reserve. So we'll see what happens. Thanks, Kenny. Appreciate that. So next Sunday, we'll do the Meekum wrap up. We will give away these license plates, and then we're going to get into the big Christmas auction because we're all going to Christmas shop for ourselves, which is, we really know what's going to happen, but that's okay. We just won't tell anybody else. I'm good with that. No problem. So with that, I'm going to wrap things up. We will do a Toy Tuesday live Tuesday evening before I take off. So we'll go ahead and squeeze that in as well. We'll get some more content up this week and hopefully plan on seeing all of you right back here next Sunday night. So it's going to be a fun one. I don't know how it's going to turn out. We've never auctioned that much stuff. I don't know how many people are going to be on. I don't know what's going to happen. Thanks, Big Job, for welcoming everybody else and inviting them all back. Badger Tractor Mike to do a Christmas show next week. Well, he's going to be here for the big Christmas auction, so we'll see how it goes. Tweet that he liked the COE Ford. Yeah, that's a great cab over. That actually is a truck that Tractor Mike found. So that is actually kind of Tractor Mike and I are partnered up on that truck. He found it, and I got it cleaned up, took the bed off of it, got all the paperwork done. Since I'm a dealer, I can do the paperwork on it easier than he can. And so that's actually mine and Tractor Mike's. So it is a great truck. That is an amazing cab over. If you haven't seen that video yet, be sure to check it out. We'll get a few more new ones up this week. We hope to see some of you at Meekum, and we definitely all sure hope to see you all right back here next Sunday night, 7 o'clock for some more Sunday Night Live chat. Big raffle, big auction. It's going to be a ton of fun. Same bat time, same bat station, 7 o'clock next Sunday. Have a great week, everybody. We sure hope to see you then. Thanks for watching.